With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. Play ball! It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, The Skinner Law Firm, Laddie's, Trips Flooring, Jambo Construction and Fencing, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Honda of Winchester, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, Rock's Local Markets, CMA Toyota Chevrolet of Martinsburg, Orsini's Home Store, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and by Hagerstown Ford.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Musselman High School as we get you set for another sectional matchup tonight. It's Martinsburg taking on Musselman, the number 3 seed, the Martinsburg Bulldogs, and the number 2 seed, the Musselman Applemen, here in Section 1 in Region 2. McPherson alongside me, Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. This game was rained out yesterday. We then were able to get the Hedgesville Spring Mills game on, which worked out pretty well. That turned into a good game, and I think overall we get to see both first-round matchups here in Section 1 play out, and that leads to some excitement. And I think last night's game kind of set the tone for the tournament and what we expect. All these games are going to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it happened in the other section as well with Washington and Hampshire. I mean, 2 real tight games. I mean, playoff baseball is a lot different story than, playing pretty loose in the regular season. And playoff baseball, you line up your pitching to try to win the tournament. And seeing last night where it took everything that Hedgesville had to beat Spring Mills after a 21-0, drudging over them a week earlier. So, I mean, that's just how tight this EPAC is. We've said it. Anyone can beat, any other team on any given night. So, and the teams know that, and the kids know that. Down in the dugouts, talking to them, they're loose. They say those things, but they're nervous. They're kind of like they're kind of like somebody who's getting ready to go on like for an operation or something, they're really, everything's going to be fine. It's all good. We're ready to go. But deep down, you can kind of see the nervousness in them, and that's going to play a big factor in tonight's game. And Musselman's a strike first, get out in front and get the running kind of team. Martinsburg plays the game a little closer. A tight game is going to benefit Martinsburg, I think, just because of some of their speed and their ability to get runners on and get them over and get them in. And, of course, a game where Musselman can get out, get base runners on, steal bases, and hitting the balls in the gap certainly going to benefit, it's going to benefit them. So Martinsburg wants to keep it close, and Musselman wants to get out and get runs on the board.
When you look at it, Tripp, both games were pretty similar in how they played out. The one here was a 7-3 win for Musselman. The one at Martinsburg was a 7-5 win for the Bulldogs. So the team that got the 7 won both of those games, and it was kind of interesting because they're different styles, but they're both effective in putting up runs. Musselman, that aggressive, power hitting lineup. You look at their top 5 guys all hitting above 350 on the year. 4 of those 5 guys at least have 1 home run. All of them have at least 21 RBIs. So, they're more of a power lineup. Martinsburg, though, still can put up runs with anybody, but certainly relying on their speed. So, the pitching tonight is 2 of the premier pitchers in the EPAC, but so far the pitchers have struggled in this game. When you look at the matchup that we have tonight, Baden Hartman coming off of a complete game and Carson Buber, both guys have Buber has a 2.2 and Hartman has a 1.98. So, both guys in the ERA category have been, pretty dominant this season.
Yeah, they've been really good. It's going to be fun to watch them, play. Right now the hitters have seen a lot of pitches, and they've kind of seen these guys throughout the year. Not necessarily. Well, Musselman's seen Buber, of course, and Buber has a win there, so psychologically has a little bit of advantage as far as experience against them. Musselman would have a little bit of advantage, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the defense making plays. I think the pitching matchup is I think it's even. When it comes to offense, though they're different styles, I think Martinsburg closed the gap on Musselman throughout the spring, especially there at the end when they started hitting the ball deep and scoring some runs by hitting the ball over the fence and getting some doubles and triples. Martinsburg definitely runs the bases a little differently, a little more aggressive than Musselman. Musselman swings the bat. When you look at this matchup, it's really close. That's why they're the 2-3 seed, and that's why it was really tough for us during the seeding to even pick, the seeding. So it's going to be interesting to see. Again, Martinsburg keeps it close. That's going to be a factor. Anytime you keep the game close, it certainly benefits the underdog.
And we talked about it all week leading up to this game. Since the injury occurred, Mike Lupus is able to hit, but he's not able to throw. How will this affect things for Martinsburg? Because the only other guy that's played third base, I believe, this season is Braden Oviedo. But with Buber on the mound, he has to play shortstop. So Jameer Brown's going to move from first to third. And it should be interesting to see how Martinsburg handles that defensively, because not only is Mike a big part of the team, obviously it's good to have him in the lineup at least so you have his hitting, but not having his fielding could play a big factor, especially for Brown, who hasn't played third in a varsity game this season.
And Brown coming off a little bit of an injury as well. He hasn't been able to swing the bat a lot. Brown has kind of been maybe pushed back in the lineup a little quicker than maybe that he needed a little more rep or something. I can't say that. I know they've inter-squadded and got him a lot of reps since he's come off that injury, but he's a shortstop by nature. He's long and lanky and has a really nice arm. I don't think it's going to, I don't think it puts Martinsburg at too much of a disadvantage between him and Lupus at third. The disadvantage is not having, Lupus able to throw tomorrow, win or lose. Whether it be in a
elimination
a winner game or elimination game. Yeah, Lupus would have gotten that ball, so I think it hurts the pitching staff. The fact that he can hit the baseball is huge for Martin. It's just absolutely huge for Martinsburg, because I really think that they are hamstrung if he's out of the lineup completely and not hitting, because he certainly leads this team in just about every offensive category.
So we'll take our first break here on the Skinner Law Firm Countdown to First Pitch. Skinner Law Firm, Injury and Consumer Rights Lawyers. Call 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. On the other side of this break, we'll hear from both teams' head coaches. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway, 1/2 hour from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300. That's 304-728-7300.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
To get the best opportunity to be seen and recruited, join the American Legion Post 14 Hornets baseball team. Managed by Trip Tobin, Post 14 will prepare you for the next level by playing the best possible schedule, along with an experienced coaching staff and alumni coming back to help guide you through the process.
Brings up Camion Gonzalez with runners on the corners. Runner from first going, and it's a fair ball down the third base line by Gonzalez. That's going to allow one to score.
The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier Legion baseball team in the area.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value Brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
We welcome you back to Musselman High School. We'll now get into our coaches' interviews brought to you by Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg. If you're looking for some fun nightlife and great food at affordable prices, then dine in at Laddie's or carry out by calling them at 304-263-5233. We'll start with the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Aaron Byler, and then hear from head coach Josh Hartman of the Musselman Applemen following Coach Byer. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Here's our coaches' interviews. Out here with the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Aaron Byler. Coach, your team begins sectional play tonight. Last night you guys were postponed, but were able to, I'm sure, tune into the Hedgesville game. And overall, it's going to be a competitive section. I think last night's game proved that.
Yeah, I think we knew that going in. I think you knew throughout the season that everybody was probably pretty equal. So, we're looking for a competitive game tonight. We're going to have to do the right things. I think whoever can come out on top tonight has a big advantage going forward.
I think a big question heading into this game would be Mike Lupus' status for your team as he got injured in that Clear Spring game. Looking at your lineup, he's going to DH, can't play the field for you, but to still have his bat out there, what's that do for your team?
Yeah, he's been day-to-day all week long. We were hopeful yesterday if we played that he'd be able to go. Having that day off definitely helped him. He was able to get taped up a little bit today. He looked just fine in the cage swinging it. So being able to have Mike Lupus in the season that he's having in the lineup is not only big for our team but big for him. He's deserved it, and he earns an opportunity to play in this game tonight.
And then another thing that you had to figure out without him being able to play the field is who was going to play third. Jameer, I know he's played shortstop, I think, when he was a kid, like in Little League. So you move him over to third today. How do you think he'll handle that?
Jameer's a freshman ultimately, but he's in my opinion more grown up than a freshman. He's played in multiple big travel games. He's faced multiple big time pitchers around the East Coast. If you look at our left side, we're going to start a freshman on third base and a sophomore on shortstop. So that's pretty young for a sectional tournament, but it is who we are, and we got faith in all those guys. And told them before we left, all we got to do is everybody's got to do their job, and if they do that, I think we'll be all right.
Musselman, you guys split with them in the regular season, an intense rivalry between your two teams. What are you looking forward to do tonight? Baden Hartman's pitching, I believe, so he's coming off of a perfect game. How do you kind of handle him, I guess?
Yeah, anytime you can throw a perfect game, it obviously says a lot about you as a pitcher and a lot about your defense. So we have to make sure that we make him work. We got to get deep in counts. We got to put the ball in play, make him field it, just have good at bats, and kind of keep passing the baton over. get one guy up, get him on, get him over. Just do little things. Got to play good baseball. We got to play clean baseball. We have to have great at-bats all night long, competitive at-bats, competitive innings.
Carson Buber, for you guys, they're a aggressive team at the plate. Anything you're telling Carson? I mean, gave up 5 runs against him last time, but overall he battled really well in that game.
No, we have all the faith in the world in Carson tonight. Carson's a kid that's pitched in big games since the time he was a freshman, so he's only a junior now, but he's been in this game. He's pitched in the sectional tournament every year since he's been with us. The moment won't be too big for him. We just told him to, don't stress, don't try to do too much. Let him put it in play, let the defense work for you, and if it's our job to make plays behind him, it's his job to throw strikes, and we think he'll do that tonight.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Nick.
Here's the head coach of the Musselman Appleman, Josh Hartman. Coach, your team coming in as the 2 seed in the sectionals. Last night, Hedgesville gets a 3-2 win over Spring Mills, which shows the competitiveness of this section. And I guess just what are your expectations for the sectional tournament as you try to get to the region and make a run towards states?
I think every night out is going to be a good ball game, no matter who you're playing, whether it's Martinsburg, Hedgesville, even Spring Mills. It's going to be a good ball game, and in my opinion, this section is up for grabs, and it should be fun. Can't wait for this week. It should be a fun week.
Baden Hartman going for you guys on the mound today, coming off of a perfect game for him in his last outing, and Baden's obviously one of your leaders. What are you looking for him tonight?
Get ahead in the strike zone, get ahead in the counts, command the zone. Don't give up free bases. Don't walk batters. Let your defense work behind you, and good things usually happens when that happens.
You and Martinsburg split in the regular season. You guys were able to win here and then lost to them at their place. So what's some things that stand out to you about this Martinsburg team?
They're good. Their leadership, top of the lineup. Buber's a great pitcher. Lupus, all around there's a good lineup all the way from top to bottom. Should be a good one again tonight.
And in that last game, you saw Carson Buber on the mound. What are some things you'll need to do from the lineup to, you guys were pretty successful. You put up 5 runs, but how do you, I guess, continue that success tonight?
Yeah, 5 runs didn't get done that night, though. But like I said, just you want to work the count, get his pitch count up, try to get to the bullpen. See good pitches. Don't chase anything out of the zone. Top of the bottom, the order's got to get on for us and produce tonight.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, buddy.
So those were our coaches' interviews. We'll take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll continue to break down this matchup. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go to the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rock's, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
In celebration of National Hospital Week, May 7th through the 13th, WVU Medicine would like to recognize and thank our employees, physicians, volunteers, auxilians, and chaplains at both Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center for their dedication to the well-being and health of our communities. Our healthcare workers inspire us every day and are at the heart of National Hospital Week. Join us in celebrating National Hospital Week at WVU Medicine.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar & Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar & Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
High School Martinsburg and Musselman just about ready to get started here in this sectional matchup. It's the 2 seed, the Musselman Applemen, and the 3 seed, the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We'll give you the starting lineups brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust for your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. Leading off for the Bulldogs and wearing number 7, the center fielder, Jordan Camby. Batting second, the shortstop, number 24, Braden Oviedo. Batting third, the pitcher, number 5, Carson Buber. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 3, Mike Lupus. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 4, Landon Sifford. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 27, Jameer Brown. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 9, Owen Rupenthal. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 25, Isaac Grove. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 2, Keegan Everhart for the Applemen. Leading off and playing center field, number 14, Kyle Lohr. Batting second, the pitcher, number 13, Baden Hartman. Batting third, the catcher, number 9, Taryn Boyles. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 8, Jason Myers. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 4, Wyatt McClintock. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 3, Trevor Bohr. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 11, Dylan Stevens. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 1, Aiden Seitz. And rounding out the lineup and playing second base, number 2, Moberly. So talented teams on both sides here tonight as we're just about ready for the national anthem. So let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break, and on the other side of this break we'll have first pitch. This is West Virginia High School baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Strawberry season is here at Orr's Farm Market. Pick Your Own strawberries will be starting around May 13th, and you can make a reservation to come and pick or buy some that are already picked. We're also offering a season pass this year, so get online at orrsfarmmarket.com to see the details. Visit our bakery counter today to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't miss our 2 new flavors of homemade strawberry donuts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, Orr's Farm Market, happiness grows here.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
New car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states. Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to Musselman High School here in Inwood, West Virginia. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Trip Tobin, Dylan Bishop. Back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. Our cameraman tonight is Braden Schaffner. We're now get into our EPAC baseball roundup, brought to you by Jambo Construction and Fencing LLC, a veteran-owned company that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452. And Dylan, only one game going on tonight in the EPAC. It's the Jefferson County rivalry between Washington and Jefferson, and a big name returning to the mound here tonight.
Yeah, it is Colin Reed on the mound tonight for Washington. Haven't seen him on the mound in more than just an inning in many, many months and weeks for the Patriots.
That one started at 6, or did they do the 7 p.m. start? Because it is at Jefferson. So, yeah, we have a score on that one, Trip?
2-1 Jefferson in the top of the 4th, and right now Washington has a man on second base with 2 outs. Michael Poltar's at the plate, so they have time to run on second with 2 outs, 2 strikes on Poltar, as Sven Dupree is on second. Caleb Fletcher pitching for Jefferson at the moment, and it looks like Cole Lewis has a hit and an RBI, and Fletcher has 2 base hits and an RBI. And at this point, Fletcher's almost 4 innings in. He's given up 0. He hasn't given up a hit yet. Given up a run, a couple strikeouts, 3 walks. And, of course, there's been no hits on the Washington side. An error, a ground out, and a sac fly has created a run. Colin Reed's thrown 3 innings, give up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts, and he's got uncharacteristically 4 walks in that game.
So 67 degrees here and sunny at first pitch. Our weather brought to you by CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg on Foxcroft Avenue, home of the lifetime limited powertrain warranty with every new vehicle that we sell at no additional cost to you. The first pitch here from Baden Hartman is a ball inside. Next pitch from Hartman, a called strike on the outside corner.
Jordan Canby's always a hard out at the top of that lineup for the Bulldogs. Once he gets on, he can get across these bases real quick.
Canby batting .291 on the year. He takes that one for a called strike, too. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jordan with 2 homers for him on the season, along with 16 RBIs. The next pitch from Hartman misses outside for ball 2. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Canby's much like Lohr at the top of the Musselman's order. If they get on base here, they can get around. They steal their way around. The lineup behind them can get base hits and score them.
The 2-2 popped up into right field and caught on the run by Trevor Bohr for out number 1. Our first pitch was brought to you by CMA Chevy of Martinsburg. Make your way to CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg on Foxcroft Avenue today for quality vehicles, a friendly team, and professional service at every step of the way. Chevy, find new roads.
Big out for Baden there, 2-2 pitch there, and he had to come in to Canby.
Now bring Oviedo to the plate. Braden Oviedo.
Starting with a curve.
329 hitter on the year. And the next pitch from Hartman, high for ball 2, 2-0 count. Oviedo playing shortstop tonight with Buber on the mound for the Bulldogs. The next pitch from the right-hander, Baden Hartman, just misses for ball 3.
McClintock playing short tonight for Musselman as they, as we're this deep into the season and they still have moving some guys around, it looks like.
The 3-0, called strike 1. The rest of the defense for the Applemen looks like this. Boyles behind the plate. Dylan Stevens down there at third. McClintock at short. Moberly at second. Myers at first base, and Seitz, Lohr, Bohr from left to right in the outfield. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Baden Hartman on the mound. It's tough to figure out who else can play shortstop there because he plays it so well.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job the other day playing it. I mean, he's made some tremendous plays.
The 3-2 pitch, a slow roller in front of the plate. Boyles picks it up, throws to first in time for the second out of the inning.
Yeah. Swinging bunt there, bounced off the plate, had a little bit of spin that went forward, and Boyles and Oviedo both kind of stutter stepped there thinking it was going to be foul, but it jumped out in fair territory. Boyles stepped out, threw to the inside, Jason Myers, and record out number 2. Jeff King down there at first, Buck Huffmaster second, Mr. Alford down at third.
There's a foul tip away by Carson Buber. Buber moving up in the lineup slightly. He's been in the 5-hole most of the season, but they moved him up, put Lupus in the 4-hole, and then Sifford in the 5. Buber hitting .357 with 18 ribbies this year. And the 0-1 just misses for ball 1. 1 ball and a strike.
Tim Carroll behind the plate. Tim Alford, that is, on third. A 2-2 down there at Washington now as Michael Poltar came through with a double to score Sven Dupree. Now he stands at second.
And break up the no-hitter.
Broke up the no-hitter, yep, true.
2-1 count now on Carson Buber. I mentioned this during last night's game. Having the 4 umpires is really important for the postseason, as the next pitch misses high and inside because we had a run called back on a Tanner Matthew tag up from third, and I don't know if that gets called in the regular season because usually it's tough for them to see everything in that play on a sacrifice fly.
Actually, that was the third hit of that inning as Gill, Poltar, and Reed all had hits in that inning.
Buber draws a 2-out walk.
Gill, Dupree, and Poltar had hits that inning to make it 2-2.
Mike Lupus will come to the plate. DHing here tonight with that shoulder injury. And it's good to see Lupus is able to play, obviously being a senior. Just in general, you want to see the seniors out here in their final sectional tournament. And he's been such a huge part of this team.
He's been a huge part of this team offensively, defensively. I mean,
he'll pop this one up toward first, and Myers makes the play, charging in for the final out of the inning. So the Bulldogs strand a runner. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between Musselman and Martinsburg. Appleman coming to the plate. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia, that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, Go Bulldogs.
Hello? We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
We welcome you back here to Musselman. Our score, or no score here between the Appleman and the Bulldogs as we begin the bottom of the first inning. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Trip Tobin, Dylan Bishop, and our cameraman Braden Schaffner. Back in the studio tonight is Colin McLaughlin as we head into the bottom of the first inning and the Appleman coming to the plate. And Trip, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame. This lineup can hit throughout, but the 1 through 5 is really, spectacular. Everybody hitting above 357. Everybody has at least 21 RBIs. So these guys like to swing the bat, and they're effective with it.
Yeah, they swing the bat well. It's going to be last time we were up here, Mike Lupus was on the mound, and he was down to 4 or 5-0. And I think 2 pitches in, it was double, and they were down 1-0 because after Lord hit the very first pitch, and then Hartman hit the very first pitch. So I think it was a double. Started that game, sent Musselman cruising from that point, and Martinsburg's trying to avoid that. At home, a little bit different, where Buber kept them close, and like I said in the pregame, if Buber can keep them close, that would always benefit, the underdog, and Martinsburg's playing the underdog role, and they're playing it well, and they're using it, as a little bit of incentive here, but I think Musselman, they're coming in, the expectation is to win, so anytime Martinsburg can keep it close, but that's a lot easier said than done with these guys, and it's going to start right here. As if he gets on, like I said about Canby, he can get on and get around. They call him Kyle Lord, get me on and I'll score. So he can steal bases. His speed, he's really good on the base paths, and he's just a tremendous hitter at the plates here. So see what they can do here.
Lord digs in, waits the first pitch from Buber, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. And you go back to that first game between these two teams, the last one played here, and you mentioned it, Lupus went the whole game, but only threw like 75, 80 pitches. As Lord jumps on this pitch, sends it into left center field. Kyle Lord will round first and have a leadoff single on the second pitch that he sees.
And that's what they do. He can get on. They look to hit early. Like I said, it's going to be a really tough job right now for Buber to keep him from scoring and keep this game at 0-0. So, he leads I think he broke some records, in that last game that we come up here and did, as far as offensive records. I noticed the next day up in Frankfurt, that first pitch there to Hartman was a strike, but he broke some offensive records, some career records, and at this point, he still has a whole nother year.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Throw over, not in time. I mean, that's the thing with Musselman. They have a lot of seniors, obviously, but Lore's back, Boyles is back, Myers is back, McClintock is back. So, I believe Moberly is back as well. So, they got a lot of talent in the underclass as well. And it's kind of surprising because, all these guys were big impact players last year. So, they were an experienced team in terms of they played a lot of baseball together, but they're still young and they'll be, it's just a good program. They got a lot of guys that can play at a high level.
Okay. Yeah, both these teams are, have some really good seniors, but also they are, they have some guys coming back as we have the umpires coming together here. Josh Hartman has seen something that he doesn't really like, and they're going to get together and talk about it. Buck Hoffmaster and Jeff King and Tim Carroll. Is it kind of given?
Would it be something with Boober? Or?
Well, no, he's telling him no. So whatever he asked, I think he's asked him to keep an eye on it. So I'm not sure what it is, but regardless. So whatever Josh Hartman asked, you kind of put a bug in the umpire's ear. Sometimes that's what you do. You just kind of see something, and maybe it has something to do with his maybe balking, something to that effect.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
The 0-2 to Hartman is, again, set into left center, but that ball did not carry as well, and Oviedo is there to make the catch. So 1 down in the inning.
I think he may be talking that possibly talked about Hartman catching Landon's glove there, possibly. Maybe he got some, thinking he maybe got some catcher's interference. That might have been the answer as well. Might have been what the question as well.
So that'll bring Taryn Boyles to the plate. 371 hitter. Throw over. Not in time on the speedy Lore. See if maybe he goes here at some point with 1 out in the inning. Boyles at the plate. 25 RBIs for him on the season. The number 3 hitter. The next pitch to Boyles is high for ball 1. 1-0 count.
Boyles, another underclassman here that's being featured tonight. You got a freshman on third, a sophomore on shortstop. You got a sophomore catcher batting third here, so your future's looking bright for the EPAC still.
There's a call on strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he's about as pure as hitters we've seen come through at that age. He throws his hands at the ball really well. He's got good bat speed.
Throw over, not in time. That's the thing. There's a ton of talent in this area. Mm-hmm. So much talent that you expanded to another Legion team.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that just looking for a place to play competitively.
Runner takes off, and Lord didn't get a great jump. The throw down, though, is off the mark, and Kyle Lord is in there with a stolen base.
Yeah, I think he gets him if that throws on. It was a one-hop one. I think if Oviedo's able to handle it, he laid it right on Lord's hip. But if it's a throw that Oviedo can handle, he might have gotten him because, like you said, Lord did get a bad jump, but made it close with that speed.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The next pitch fouled away by Boyles here. So runner in scoring position for the Applemen.
That was certainly the expectation at some point for Lord to get a read on Boober and to take off there, maybe try to steal on a curveball count or something to that effect, but definitely he didn't get the greatest jump there, but made it happen.
The 1-2 misses outside and low for ball 2.
Nice play there by Sifford handling that one hop, that pick.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second base for the Musselman Applemen here in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the two teams. The next pitch from Boober. Hit into right field. That will get down for a base hit. Lord is rounding third. The throw from Clement is a good one, but it's up the line and safe at home is Kyle Lore as he slides in. It's an RBI single for Taryn Boyles, and the Applemen take the early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yep, and that's what they do. They get on, get around. They swing the baseball bat. They're just 2 singles and a stolen base is all it takes. But that was a really good job by Terran Boyd. We've seen him the last time that they got together. Him taking the ball the other way, so he's doing a great job of taking the pitch that's thrown to him and not trying to do too much with it.
Boyles advances to second on the throw, so he's standing on second base, and Jason Myers, the guy that leads this Appleman team in RBIs with 39, 1 home run for him way back in the first game of the season. The next pitch to Myers is a call and strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Jason. 364 hitter.
Myers feeling really good. I mean, he's got a little swag in the box. He's staying loose.
The next pitch from Boober, taken low for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
When Myers is mentally locked in and and he's not feeling overmatched there in the box, and he's got some movement there, and he's staying loose, he can be really dangerous.
The 2-1 pitch hit hard on the ground, past the glove of Brown and into left field. It's a single from Myers. Boyles advances to third. Back-to-back hits for the Applemen put runners on the corners.
And there's that defensive shift that the Bulldogs had to make. Jameer Brown over at third. He wasn't quite able to make that play over there. Who knows if you got Lupus or Oviedo over at third, it might be a different story.
Yeah, you don't know for sure. I mean,
did take a tough bounce, but
did.
I mean, it's a play that he could have made, I think.
Tough play there. Ball stayed down. He kind of give it, dove for it best he could there.
McClintock fouls this one away. 0-1 count.
You got to wonder here what Musselman is going to do first and third with Myers and Terran. Neither one have, great speed. So, is Martinsburg going to take that out and take an opportunity to get the out if Myers takes off? Or are they going to let him go and they're going to try to get a double steal here going?
The next pitch to McClintock, ripped toward the shortstop Oviedo. He'll go to second for 1. Unable to double him up, though. And Myers comes in to score. Boyles comes in to score. And it is 2-0 Appleman.
It came off the bat. I thought it was a tailor-made double play, but it just had a little bit of backspin. And it curled back around. Oviedo did a really nice job keeping it in front of him. They tossed it to Everhart. It was maybe a little late getting there because the ball was hit so hard, but just a really nice job there of Oviedo, but a great job there of McClintock getting the ball in play and getting the fielder's choice RBI.
Pitch hits the zone for strike 1 to Trevor Bohr, 258 hitter, 19 RBIs. McClintock picks up his 26th of the season. Two nothing Appleman here in the bottom of the first. Another throw over. Not in time. Sliding back in safely is Wyatt McClintock down there at first base.
The issue with Martinsburg is they don't have the depth in pitching that Musselman has, so Boober can't afford to be off. So he's going to have to stay out there and gut it out and figure it out, much like Lupus did the last time when Martinsburg got down early, and they just kept clawing back. But Martinsburg doesn't have the depth of another player just to go down and just keep throwing guys out there. So Boober's going to have to deal with it.
Next pitch here, a called strike 2. I mean, even Washington last night, they used 4 different pitchers to get that win over Hampshire. Martinsburg really, like you said, Tripp, doesn't have that option, especially if Lupus going down. It limits the staff even more. As the next pitch, a slow roller off the foot of Bohr, so that will be a dead ball. And the runner will go back to first.
Caught him there in the foot, and it hurt too. He got him on the front foot. He's left-handed batter, would be his right foot. And I think it got him there on the instep. It did roll fair, but he did a great job of making sure the umpire knew.
Yeah.
But I believe it hit him the way he bounced around in there.
Yeah, that definitely didn't look like it felt too good for Trevor Bohr. But he digs back in here on a 1-2 count with a runner on first and 2 down in the inning. The next pitch ripped into right center field. That'll get down for another hit for the Applemen. Rounding second and heading for third is the runner McClintock to throw into second. They got Bohr trying to stretch it. It was already a single, but on the The third, Bohr tried to advance to take two, and he is thrown out for the final out of the inning. So we head to the second. 2-0 Appleman. A big final out there to end this first inning rally for Musselman. We'll return after 60 seconds. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
We welcome you back to Musselman. 2-0 Appleman on top of the Bulldogs as we head to the second inning in this sectional playoff matchup. The winner of this game advances to take on Hedgesville in the winner's bracket. The loser of this game will take on Spring Mills. A great game last night between the Eagles and the Cardinals. Hedgesville gets the win 3-2. And both of these teams have split with Hedgesville, so we are expecting just a great sectional tournament all the way around. On both sides, it looks like it could be, because Hampshire battled last night with Washington, and Washington and Jefferson are going at it right now in a very close game. So playoff baseball certainly leads to close games.
Jefferson's up 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth. Here's they're coming to bat in the bottom of the fifth.
Pitch misses low and outside to Landon Sifford, who will lead off this inning. Sifford hitting .313 on the year, a home run and 23 RBIs. The next pitch from Hartman fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hartman and Lupus, I would think that certainly have opportunities of being the EPAC Players of the Year. Both have had great years on the mound and putting up tremendous offensive numbers. Generally, that would trump, some of the other guys in the league that are hitting, like Lohr and Braylon Connor. Yeah. Both are probably leading the EPAC, and averages don't have the pitching stats, but those guys are doing it on both sides.
The 2-1 just misses for ball 3, so a 3-1 count here on Landon Sifford.
That's a little bit unfair because those guys make tremendous plays, in their skilled positions of, shortstop and center field, and batting in the 400 mark is just unbelievable.
He'll still probably, or should definitely see first team all EPAC as Sifford draws a walk, but I think I would probably lean. You could throw Jackson Ruest in there as well.
Yeah, we spoke about Jackson the other day. I think the 3 front runners are Jackson Ruest and certainly Lupus and Hartman with their offensive stats and their pitching stats would definitely put them, in the front runners along with the big averages of Lohr and Braylon Connor, I believe.
Yeah. I'd probably lean toward Baden, but it's very close. I mean, I think that perfect game might have helped him get that potentially.
EPAC Player of the Year last year, co-EPAC Player of the Year, walked in the stadium with Chase Herndon.
Yeah. We could see a co again this year.
Lots of Spring Mills players here. We see, a lot of guys down there in Spring Mills, a few Hedgesville guys. And
here's a bunt from Jameer Brown. Hartman comes off the mound and throws the first for the first out of the inning. That does allow the courtesy runner to advance to second base.
And that's what we see.
Is that Spar down there at second, I believe?
Actually, no. I think it's Alter, maybe.
Yeah, it could be Alter.
Spar's actually not here today. He had an engagement that he couldn't make the game, so I know it's not him, but I believe it's Alter.
Yeah, I think that is Christian. I know they both kind of look wear that sleeve occasionally. So,
but you see the differences in the two teams right there. You see where Musselman goes, hit. Martinsburg goes hit and then bunt. So, really nice job there of
Our cameraman's saying it is Trey Spar down there.
Number 16. The Spar's not in the dugout.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But yeah, you can see the two different styles there. As Martinsburg goes with a small ball to generate runs, Musselman, they have to have multiple hits to make it happen.
The 0-2 misses outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here on Owen Rupenthal, the left-handed hitting first baseman. 333 average for him. A runner on second as the Bulldogs try to cut into this lead. The 1-2 pitch just misses for ball 2.
Just misses.
Certainly just missed. It was on the outer. Of course, he's left-handed, Rupenthal, so it was in right-hander side. And nice job by Taryn Boyles to fold that thing, but they just didn't get the call there from Tim Carroll.
2-2, a chopper hit towards short. McClintock, it was a tough play and he couldn't make it. Throws the third to try to get the runner going back. And the throw back not in time. So runners on the corners for the Bulldogs as Rupenthal will reach first base on error.
Yeah, you got first and third here. Martinsburg also has the opportunity to make something happen with that. Again, not the biggest of, not as much speed on the bases that they would like at this moment, but the air there on the chopper certainly didn't help things. But that's playoff baseball. You got these young guys get tightened up. I mean, you're looking at a sophomore on shortstop for Musselman just as well as you're looking at a sophomore on shortstop for Martinsburg.
So I'll bring Isaac Grove to the plate. Grove, 261 hitter. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
And I don't know if we'll see these teams be, this tight as they move through. I just think it's just a lot of times it's this first game that really, just sets the tone. And after being off and just kind of start the second season.
Grove tries to lay down a bunt, but it goes foul for strike 2. Yeah, I think, early on you don't want to head to the losers bracket because that puts you behind. If you have to go, you'll go after this one. You like to start with a win and then have that confidence.
Yeah, anytime you can win this first round, it certainly gives you a great, puts you in a really nice spot moving forward. But that was a kind of a safety squeeze there. If Grove gets that down, it's going to be a run because the corners are, holding the runners for the most part.
Next pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Our first strikeout of the game goes to Baden Hartman as he gets Grove on the fastball. Now we'll bring Keegan Everhart to the plate with 2 down and 2 on.
Big play right there. As you can see, Martinsburg, Coach Ballard was just trying to make something happen there with that bunt. Wasn't able to get it down. And you get an unproductive out with that, with that strikeout because he needs to get the ball on the ground and get that fielder's choice RBI if nothing else.
And you never know. Put the ball in play, could lead to an error again and another base runner, but there's a called strike 1. Especially Grove's a fast guy, so if he gets down that line, could make a tough play for Musselman.
And Musselman hits the ball, you give him an A+. They pitch the ball A+. And if there's a weakness, it would be their defense at times. They have made some errors. So, but that's high school baseball. Most teams do. But they are your typical high school baseball team when it comes to, fielding the ball, picking the ball, throwing the baseball. They're not an exceptionally good defensively like they hit and pitch, but they certainly are above average.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. I believe I was looking the other day. I think they're 4th in fielding percentage in the EPAC, and that's 4th out of the teams with a winning record. So that has kind of been the one weakness for this team, a 1-2 count.
Yeah, I'm trying to say it really nice, but they if Martinsburg get it in play, they have an opportunity, with that.
The 1-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Applemen force the Bulldogs to strand 2. We head to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Musselman. This is West Virginia High School baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
We welcome you back here to Musselman High School. 2-0 Appleman leading the Bulldogs in sectional playoff action. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. Braden Schaffner on camera, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin for the sectional playoffs. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Appleman and Dylan Stevens, Aiden Seitz, and Austin Moberly, as the Appleman kind of ran themselves out of the inning to end that first inning rally, but they certainly jumped on Carson Booer early in this ballgame, Trip.
Yeah, they're going to have some confidence moving forward as they kind of got that lead. And that's where Musselman's at their most dangerous, when they're playing confidently and with the lead.
First pitch here to Stevens is a called strike 1. Dylan on the year hitting .238, 14 RBIs for him.
Martinsburg got an opportunity to get an easy RBI that last game, cut this lead in half, but 2 strikeouts nullified that. And if Baden Hartman can continue to do it himself, it's going to take away that that fielding percentage we were talking about and the opportunities that Martinsburg has. So they have to shorten up and get the ball in play and try to play the percentages as far as that goes. But that's easy for me to say up here as they're facing Baden Hartman out there coming off a perfect game.
0-2 count here on Dylan Stevens, with him leading off this bottom of the second inning. 2-0 Appleman on top. The next pitch from Carson Buber is slapped foul and down the first baseline toward the dugout.
Musselman wearing them home whites with the green letters and the green stripe, and across the front there that was Appleman and the green stripe with the red lettering. Martinsburg wearing the away grays with the orange letters and the black hats.
The next pitch from Buber hit into right center field, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Dylan Stevens rounding first. He's in there with a stand-up double to lead off this bottom of the second inning. And Musselman can continue to make hard contact off of Carson Buber. That's the 5th hit given up.
Yeah, he threw that ball, kind of where Dylan likes it. He likes the ball, middle away there a little bit, and he kind of steps in the bucket a bit, but Buber needed to keep that ball out farther, and we had a little softer contact, but he kept it in enough where he could find the sweet spot. And Dylan, with 2 strikes, found the barrel there, got himself leadoff double.
Aiden Seitz digs in, takes the first pitch high and inside for ball 1. Seitz playing left field tonight. Runner on second base for the Applemen, who lead it 2-0 here in the second. A big swing and a miss for strike 1.
Buber's going to have to, like I say, he's going to have to do it. I mean, the ball's been handed to him and said, I believe this is your game to the end, or until it would get out of hand. So Buber's, he knows that it's his game, to win or lose, and regardless of what happens. So, that's not a great feeling, but and it's also it's kind of a good and bad, pros and cons to it.
The 1-2 misses low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Aiden Seitz of a runner on second base. The Applemen would like to get this run in and continue to put up big numbers in this one. The next pitch, half-hearted swing. It's going to go fair, though, down the first base line. Not what Seitz wanted, but he did advance the runner at the very least for the first out of the inning as Rubenthal makes the play down there at first and steps on the bag. That will bring Moberly to the plate.
The difference between striking out and getting a productive out. You get the ball in play, good things happen. If he strikes out there, you got a man on first and a man on second with 1 out. Instead, he does get the bat on the ball enough to move the runner over. Now anything, a pass ball, a ground ball, Martinsburg's going to bring the defense up, try to keep Musselman from running away.
This one hit into right center field. That will get down for a base hit, and the Applemen take a 3-0 lead on the RBI single from Austin Moberly.
everybody just comes in hacking at it, Again, different styles. Martinsburg 9 hitters are more likely to lay the ball down or squeeze a run in. Musselman's hitters are more likely to, swing away and try to drive runs in, with the bat.
And all 9 guys in the Appleman order can find ways to contribute and get runs in. And we've seen that in these first 2 innings as Lohr fouls off that first pitch. When you look at it, everybody's made contact. Yeah. Nobody has struck out so far.
It's certainly not Boober's best day. But Musselman's making it really hard on him. And again, like I said, when Musselman gets out and gets running, they're hard to hold back.
Lohr sends this one hard up the middle. Oviedo steps on the bag for 1, tries to get 2, but with Lohr's speed, he'll beat it out. Second out of the inning, though, on the fielder's choice, and Lohr is on first base with Hartman coming to the plate.
Oviedo knew he didn't have much time with the left-handed Lohr coming out of the box, going down the line hard. Grabbed the ball and behind the bag, made a tag, and then kind of slipped a little bit. So it cost him some velo on that throw, but it was still a close play. Nice play there by Oviedo.
And as Hartman is hit by the pitch, runner took off for second and Lohr, but won't matter as Peyton Hartman is hit by the pitch, so he's on. It's the first batter to not make contact, but another base runner for the Appleman here in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for both. I mean, for Hartman getting hit, of course, but also for Martinsburg there as Lohr had a horrible jump. Kind of slipped, I believe, actually. Probably could have come back, but anyway, didn't give Sifford a chance at all to throw as it caught Hartman there on the forearm, I believe, and he's wincing a little bit. It's his throwing hand, but anyway, number 7, I think it's Ryder Gans is out there pinch running for him, sort of courtesy runner.
Yep, that is Ryder Gaines, our courtesy runners, courtesy of the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets, the premier Legion team in the area. First pitch is a called strike here to Taryn Boyles. He had the RBI single back in the first inning to give the Appleman the 1-0 lead at the time. Now it's 3-0 Musselman. This one hit hard. That will be a base hit and RBI single as well for Boyles. As rounding third is Lohr. The throw into third to try to get the courtesy runner is not in time, and it is Musselman 4, Martinsburg 0 on the RBI from Taryn Boyles, his second RBI single of the game. And that will bring Coach Zarnecki out of the Martinsburg dugout to speak with Carson Buber.
Jefferson's opened up a 7-2 lead on Washington here in the 5th, as they have scored a few runs here in the 5th inning. Looks like they've scored about 4 runs here in this inning. Like a walk to Ryan Kelly, a single by Riley Morgan. Fielder's choice by Daquan Shipe scored a run. Pat Duncan single scores a run. Then you have Cienfuegos with a sac fly scoring a run. And then you have Kyle Lewis singling scoring a run. So at this point it's a 7-2 lead. And J.J. Palminelli at the plate with men on first and second and 2 outs. And Colin Reed still on the mound.
I'll bring Jason Myers to the plate. Myers singled back in that first inning.
It might have gotten Hartman worse than we thought, because we see guys in the bullpen throwing quickly, and Hartman is one of them, and then also number 6 thing, which I believe is Rutherford.
Yeah, Cohen Rutherford down there throwing.
They did send Hartman down to the bullpen to see how that feels on that arm. Might get a little stinger down there.
He's got a coach right by his side watching him.
Pitch misses outside for ball 1, so.
I think he's got Coach Mackey down there keeping an eye on him, so.
You certainly hope Baden's good to go, because, he's been really good in these first 2 innings. And if he is out, that could completely change the feel of this ball game, as the next pitch is low for a ball. 2-1 count here on Jason Myers. But Musselman still rallying, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. And 2 on. The next pitch to Myers. Runner takes off. The throw down from Sifford is in time. Did they get the tag, though? They did for the final out of the inning. And we will head to the third.
I wonder if the run scores.
Yeah, it was close.
Especially when he called him out on this tag through. So I don't think umpire Buck Hoffmeister called him out on the initial slide. He called him when he went by the bag. So at that point, the run came across, and it was very close, if not score, if he didn't go ahead and score. So the run might have scored on that. Wouldn't surprise me if they give them the run because, again, did not get him on the initial tag. He got him on the slide by. So if that's the case, I'd give Musselman an extra couple steps.
Yeah, they're looking to be discussing. You may be right there, Tripp, because, like you said, the initial tag was not ruled the out. Or maybe that's what they were confirming, and they will score the run.
So the run did score.
So that's big. 5-0 here as we will take a 60-second break. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. And when we return, we'll have more action here from Musselman High School as the Appleman crowd definitely getting into this one. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Strawberry season is here at Orr's Farm Market. Pick your own strawberries will be starting around May 13th, and you can make a reservation to come and pick, or buy some that are already picked. We're also offering a season pass this year, so get online at orrsfarmmarket.com to see the details. Visit our bakery counter today to try our new homemade quiches, pepperoni rolls, and don't miss our 2 new flavors of homemade strawberry donuts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, Orr's Farm Market. Happiness grows here.
We welcome you back to Musselman High School, according to Colin, who did play the replay for those of you that can see it back in the studio and watching on TV 10. We are unable to see it here live at the field, but according to him, it was simultaneous with the out being called and the runner coming across the score.
Yep. Well, it's a judgment call on the umpires. I think both head coaches did had a good argument there. I think Coach Ballard is going to continue to argue the call, and he's going over to third base now to coach third base. But only thing Buck Hoffmeister can do is call the out. He can't see it actually comes on Tim Carroll, who has to see the out and see the run come across. And it was a really tough call. Could have went either way, but. Good job by Josh Hartman coming down and double checking on that. And then, of course, Coach Ballard trying to have it reversed.
So run comes across the score, 5-0 Appleman, but we are now in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd, and Baden Hartman is good to go after being hit on the hand or on the arm in the last inning. This one popped up by Jordan Camby and heading toward that Martinsburg bullpen, and a player running into the wall down there in the bullpen. It looked like Bohr, Moberly, and Myers all ran over. I think Moberly hit the wall there, but he is all good along the fence.
We don't have any access to the replay. Getting a few text messages who disagree, from guys, from people at home that have my telephone number. So haven't got one that said it was the right call yet, but that's really neither here nor there. At this point, Martinsburg 4-0, 5-0. It's they have to get this game turned around,
right,
and turned around quick, and they need to get this guy here on and start the comeback quickly.
Camby takes that one outside for ball 2. So far the way Musselman's hitting the ball, and Hartman's obviously been good pitching, may not even matter that run at this point.
Yeah, there was certainly some concern with Hartman down there, as we spoke the last inning, but to kind of put those worries to bed, he's out there throwing, and it doesn't look any worse to where he is kind of stretching that hand out a little bit. Probably a stinger that caused some, him to have a little tingling there in that hand.
2-2 fouled away by Canby. This is a good at-bat, though. It feels like this is the first really tough at-bat that Hartman's faced besides his walks. A lot of fouled off pitches. Canby clearly still in the ball game and battling at the plate. The next pitch is lined into center field, and Lord charges in and makes the play for the first out of the inning. Couple of flyouts today for Jordan Canby. That will bring Oviedo to the plate, who grounded out his first time up on that swinging bunt in front of the plate.
So they sent Nick so you see the runner going down. He's down there now. It's
pretty much
yep.
bang there. Oviedo lifts this one over toward and out of play down the first baseline.
Very good crowd here tonight. You're starting to get a little rowdy, especially when, we start to get some plays that are controversial, I guess you could say. Musselman eliminated in the past couple of years by Martinsburg in the sectional, so they're looking to avenge those elimination game losses, and they certainly have a team to do it this year. They have Martinsburg, Lupus down, and Jameer, who's been down this year and haven't been able to throw a whole lot, and have their pitching staff a little shorthanded. So be a golden opportunity for Musselman to capitalize on that. Not only Martinsburg's issues they've had with a couple injuries, but also with the team they have out there on the field and the pitching staff they have.
The 1-2 pitch from Hartman got him looking for strike 3. Baden's third strikeout of the day. Oviedo goes down, 2 down here in the inning, and Carson Buber will come to the plate. Buber walked his first time up.
Yeah, you're seeing Musselman's all cylinders. When they hit, they get fired up. They're pitch as well, and of course you've seen the really nice play on the line drive by Kyle Lohr out there. So they have all three aspects of the game going at the moment.
You mentioned the crowds getting into it, and I remember the game last year. These two teams played after the voting was already out, and it didn't mean anything, but you wouldn't have known it based on the crowd as Buber rips this one into left field for a 2-out knock.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the better hitters as well in the EPAC, and looking for some all EPAC honors himself. But just a great job there by him. Here comes looks like Wilt's going to come in and run for the pitcher, as give Buber a little chance to settle down there. Martinsburg needs to extend this inning. I mean, he did a good job extending it for himself there, but they need to get a couple base runners on. If best case scenario is just give Buber a little chance to catch his breath there after those 2 innings of runs coming across the board in those longer innings. But they just need to have a good a longer inning than 1-2-3, 1-2-3.
Lupus is a guy that could give Martinsburg some momentum. 5-0 ball game. The runner on first, our courtesy runners, courtesy of the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets. The next pitch here to Lupus is low for ball 1. Lupus popped out to first base his first time up. 1-0 count. Wilt takes his lead. The next pitch, low for ball 2. Baden being careful here with the power hitting Lupus, knowing that he can change the game with one swing of the bat. 4 home runs on the year. I believe that leads the EPAC.
I would think so. I'm not sure there's any others that have that many.
The 2-0 pitch misses outside for ball 3.
Nice job there by Taryn keeping Wilt at first base. Martinsburg's in a situation now where it's going to be really hard for them to steal, because should they get thrown out, you look really stupid giving up base runs, giving up outs on the bases when you're down 5-0.
Pitch hits the zone for strike 1. A 3-1 count here on Mike Lupus, with Buber's courtesy runner and Logan Wilt standing on first base after his 2-out single. The next pitch from Hartman, low below the knees for ball 4, and Lupus will take his base to put 2 guys on now, in a threatening opportunity for the Bulldogs with Landon Sifford coming to the plate. Sifford second on the team in RBIs with 23 on the year. He walked his first time up. So all of a sudden, after 2 really quick and relatively easy outs, I mean, Canby did battle in that first at-bat, but now the Bulldogs have an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they need to do. Of course, Hartman was rolling there with 2 straight outs, like you said, even though it can be battled there a little bit. But, then to give up the base hit and the walk is something he wanted to do. And Musselman wants to get back in and swing those bats.
Sifford lifts this one out towards center field. Moore calling off everybody and making the catch. For out number 3, we head to the bottom of the third. It is Musselman 5, Martinsburg nothing. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 60.
Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
We welcome you back here to Musselman High School. The Applemen leading the Bulldogs 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Trip Tobin and Dylan Bishop. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman. We're happy to have you with us here at Musselman High School with the Applemen continuing his at-bat as he was up when that third down happened at the end of the inning, last inning. Is Jason Myers. So we'll lead things off. It's the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Applemen. Myers singled his first time. After that controversial play, could have gone either way, but so far, Musselman has 7 hits in 2 innings. So they are really hitting the ball well. And to do it against this Martinsburg team, you and I, Trip, were talking in between the break, and if Musselman's in the ball like this, especially if they're pitching, I mean, they're going to be the team that we expected them to be all year.
Yeah, they are extremely. This is where they want to be. They want to be, up. They want to be upbeat. They want to be feeling good. This is when you play. This is when any team plays well. It's when any team pitches well. When you can get loose, and that's when you can really, have some fun there. Where Martinsburg has to play catch up. Kind of taking Martinsburg out of their game with the stealing and the bunting. Now they have to kind of play. Only offensively, they'll have to be like Musselman and hit their way back into this game because you really just can't give up outs for runs. Maybe we're getting to that point of the game in the 4th inning, possibly give up a run, an out or two, but not many.
The 1-0 pitch here as Myers fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Bottom of the third. 5-0 Applemen leading Martinsburg in this sectional matchup. The winner of this game will travel to Hedgesville, take on the number 1 seed in the section, the Hedgesville Eagles, who got a 3-2 win over Spring Mills. That pitch misses low and outside for ball 2. And
will that be the game?
Yeah, we're
WRNR's going to.
Yeah, we're going to follow the winners bracket here in the section.
So that answers some questions at home. Tomorrow we'll be at Hedgesville, regardless of the winner here.
This one popped up toward left field.
Scattered in the air, that's for sure.
And Grove makes the play for out number 1.
Not the easiest place in the world to catch a fly ball here. I mean, it's kind of odd the way the wind carries the ball here and pushes it. It pushes it out, and it feels like it won't. I mean, it pushes it back in. Pushes it back towards the infield. Foul balls down the right field line seem to find their way over to the fence. That everything just kind of pushes towards right field. So I've seen a lot of fly balls here be misplayed, as apparently the air above here kind of runs towards the football field.
This one fouled away by Wyatt McClintock. So somewhat at an advantage there for Hedgesville in some ways, is that the rain canceled last night's game, so pitching, they get an extra day off, but
Yeah.
I don't think it plays a huge factor, but it is a little bit of an advantage.
It depends on how this thing goes down the line. If they can get Lane back because of that extra day, you know, that could really play big. It could be a huge advantage. If one of these teams, just wins out, then not necessarily. But I would have, if I'm Hedgesville, I would have been happy that they got in a game before the other team in the section.
The 1-1 pitch misses inside for ball 2 balls and a strike. And DeLauder, toward that end of the game, that looked like the Lane DeLauder that we expected to see really all season. He got off to a little bit of a slow start, but final 6 outs were all strikeouts from DeLauder as McClintock sends a chopper and foul. So that was good to see because Lane has had some ups and downs recently, and we know the talent that is there. But he's only a junior, so I think that's why you see sometimes he doesn't always pitch perfect because he's a high school kid. You forget sometimes, I think.
Inconsistent. You get in this time of the season where the coaching staff doesn't have a lot of time to make a lot of adjustments or see a lot of bullpens. You get into the grind of the season. You just keep moving and work with what you got.
McClintock fouls this one away. Bromwell was great last night too.
Yeah, you hear a lot of why why ain't he getting coached better? Why ain't he getting this? Or why aren't they doing this or that? It's because they have no time. I mean, these coaches have no time. Say what they want, but those kids go to school. They get a day off here and there, but in practice and
2-2 pitch misses low and inside for ball 3, full count.
A couple hours about all you can keep them, and you get in, you do the best you can. But there's no chance right now to make any major changes. That's what you do in the summer, what you do in the winter. And you get those things fixed, but certainly has put up the
3-2 pitch hit hard into right field, and an excellent catch on the run by Murphy Clement for the second out of the inning.
Unbelievable play by Murphy out there. He came in. If that gets by him, that's a triple. He decided to go for it and get after that line drive that was dying, and I didn't think he was going to get to it. Used that closing speed there at the end and took that thing off the top of the grass there. But seeing Baden going back down to the bullpen again, looks like, and I think he's just not feeling his best with that arm that wrist after he got hit on the hand. I think he's dealing with a little bit of numbness or some tingling there, the way he keeps shaking his hand.
Pitch misses outside to Trevor Bohr, who's hitting with 2 outs.
But to quickly finish that point, right now the coaches are going with what they got. So, anybody at home wondering why this kid or that kid's doing this or doing that, it's because the coaches are going with what they got. There's no fixing things. There's just letting their, momentum carry them, and they're just kind of building them up right now and then just shooting, hoping for the best if there is a. But these guys have played really well all year, these two teams.
1-2, or the 1-1 is a swing and miss for strike 2, now 1-2 count. Like we said before, it's a long, quick season.
It's a long, quick season, and everybody's tired. The coaches are tired. Everybody, gets worn out. But right now it's a new season.
The 1-2 chopper hit towards second, the third to first in time for the final out of the inning. We'll head to the fourth. It's still 5-0 Musselman over Martinsburg as the Bulldogs send down a 1-2-3 from Carson Buber. And Bulldogs come to the plate, see if they can get some runs across in this top of the fourth. This is West Virginia High School Baseball Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
There's a local family moving in our territory.
What do you want from me?
Taste it. It's really good.
We'll go to the mattresses.
It's not personal. It's strictly business. Leave the guns. Take the pizza.
Rock's, now serving hot, fresh pizza to die for.
Ow, that really hurt.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to Musselman. Our score, Musselman 5, Martinsburg nothing. As it's the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Bulldogs, and Brown, Rupenthal, and Grove. And despite that injury, it looks like maybe potentially for Harmon, or at least the the bothering of the hand. He's going to stay out there on the mound for Musselman to begin this 4th inning. And so far he's been good. Tripp just 1 hit allowed and 3 walks. But other than that, I mean, Baden Hartman has looked like himself. 3 strikeouts as well.
Yeah, I think he'll tell you that he don't have his best stuff at the moment, but I think he's battling. I think Martinsburg is stressing a little bit. I think they're, they are a little tight. They know that. I think Coach Bauer has to tell them, hey, we got 4 more bats. One run an inning is going to put us back in this thing. Boober's going to settle in, I believe, and give them some innings where they can catch up. So Martinsburg just has to catch up here as much as it is, any way possible. But Hartman, he's just going to continue to keep them off balance. And what he is doing good is like right there against Jameer Brown, keeping the ball down. If you keep the ball down, and you're going to be successful. Right now he just has to pound the strike zone and just try to get outs as quick as possible and throw to contact.
First pitch hits the zone for strike 1. Next one misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Jameer Brown, who grounded out in a sacrifice his first time up. The 1-1 pitch to the third baseman. Brown hit towards short. McClintock's there, and he throws to first on a bullet. And a great snag by Jason Myers for the first out of the inning.
That was a good play by both. I mean, McClintock took the short hop, got after it, and then he made a real strong throw across this Jameer Brown, who been fighting an injury on the ankle and possibly the Achilles there. Looked like he was back to 100% as he ran down that line. Throw was a little bit up the line, but nice stretch there, and almost like he kind of scooped it. Had a little bit showing out the end of the cone there.
Rubenthal takes that first pitch for a called strike.
10-3 at the Jefferson game at the moment, as they're starting to really run away there from Washington in the bottom of the 6th.
So if that score holds, Washington will return home but have to face Hampshire again in the elimination game for both teams, double elimination tournament, and then have to go back to Jefferson if they're able to get the win over Hampshire, as the winner of that game will play then Jefferson.
Colin held him there for a while, but ended up with a stat line of 4 innings, 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 7 earns, 5 strikeouts, and then that 6 walks. Probably didn't help him at all.
The 0-2 to Rubenthal misses low for ball 1.
It doesn't particularly surprise me that that they got after him there in the 5th inning. It would have been really tough for him to not have pitched much this year and then gone that deep. Probably was asking a lot out of him to get more than 2 or 3 innings out of him there in that game, possibly 4. And at the end of the 4th inning, if you look at the box, I mean, it was 3-2. So I mean, he'd give him an opportunity, but that 5th inning was this what did him in there.
2-2 count, 1 down. The next pitch from Hartman to Rubenthal, a called strike 3, 4th strikeout on the evening for Baden Hartman. This one looking to Owen Rubenthal, and quickly 2 down for Isaac Grove, who struck out his first time back in the 2nd.
It looks like, actually, I mean, when I look at it, Reed was he was pretty much maxed out on pitches at 106. So
wow.
60, 70, 80 pitches probably where he was at when he was competitive, and they're but just worn down. You just don't come out and throw 7 innings. I don't care, 17, 18, 19-year-old kid hadn't thrown a lot.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that as well. 0-1 count here.
Hartman's wheeling and dealing now. Making real quick work of this inning, 2 outs.
The 0-1 misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Grove. The left fielder, wearing number 25, digs back in. 1-1 count.
Baden velocity's picked up a little bit, I believe. It's like he's done a little harder.
Next pitch from Hartman, lined into right field. Going to be a tough play, but Bohr slides in and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Our score remains Musselman 5, Martinsburg nothing. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 60 seconds.
In celebration of National Hospital Week, May 7th through the 13th, WVU Medicine would like to recognize and thank our employees, physicians, volunteers, auxilians, and chaplains at both Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center for their dedication to the well-being and health of our communities. Our healthcare workers inspire us every day and are at the heart of National Hospital Week. Join us in celebrating National Hospital Week at WVU Medicine.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
To Musselman. Appleman on top, 5-0 over the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Nick Verzolini, Trip Tobin here, along with Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman is Braden Schaffner. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Appleman. And last time this group led off the inning, typically you think 7, 8, 9 should be a quick inning, but that was not the case. It's the second inning where Musselman was able to rally a double for Stevens to lead things off, a ground out from Seitz, but then an RBI single from Moberly, another RBI from Boyles as they added on to that lead in that second inning. Eventually building out to this 5-0 lead that they have now. First pitch to Dylan Stevens is a called strike.
Yeah, Martinsburg needs to keep the top of the line. You need the leadoff guy off, no matter who it is, each inning, because there's hitters behind each one of them. As they get on early, and that's what causes gets Boober in the stretch, and that sets the chain of events moving as the ground outs and another single or double here and there. Next thing you know, more runs are on the board.
Swing and a miss for strike two on Stevens.
Yeah, Boober had him 2 strikes the last time, made a mistake with a pitch that was kind of up over the plate and up, and that's where Dylan was able to handle it.
The 1-2. This is outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Dylan Stevens.
It was a really good job of 2-strike hitting by Dylan as he took what was given him the pitch on the outer half and took it that way.
The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the day for Carson Boober.
Dylan knew it. He just tipped his cap. He just washed it into the glove, seen where, the movement of it, and he knew it was a strike and just hit it down, hit it back and tipped his cap. That's kind of a pitcher thing, when you just kind of tip your cap out of respect to the guys throwing.
That's pretty impressive for Musselman for that to be their first strikeout here as we head into the fourth inning. Just shows how well they've done offensively.
Yeah, they hit. I mean, that's when you take a team that can hit like they hit and give them the pitching staff they have, 4, 5, 6 guys deep, they're going to be a really tough team to beat, in the section and the region and across the board. If Martinsburg doesn't want to see those fireworks tonight, they're going to have some fireworks on the road and put this offense of Musselman, they're going to have to put some zeros on the board and catch up.
The 0-2 misses inside to Seitz for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, everybody's put the ball in play at least once. We have a hit by pitch. Nobody's taken a walk yet for the Applemen, so they've just been very aggressive, and it's worked to their advantage. But we have back-to-back strikeouts potentially. They're going to check the swing, and that was not ruled a swing, so Seitz takes a ball for 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Check swing by Seitz, got away from Sifford. He did the right thing, tugged the runner, then asked for the appeal. So good job there by Sifford. Good job by Seitz holding back.
2-2 misses inside for ball 3. Full count here on Aiden Seitz. He grounded out to first base, but advanced the runner in his first at-bat. And here's the full count pitch from Boober. It's a chopper foul.
Seitz, another guy who's thrown some tremendous games for Musselman. He kind of gets overlooked because he's the new guy transferred over. But, I mean, when you look at, Baden throws himself, a complete game, throws himself out of the tournament tonight. I mean, you still got Myers and Stevens and Seitz and Bohr and Chauncey, and the list goes on and on. McClintock. I mean, they just have guys that throw. Rutherford.
This one hit hard towards short. Oviedo scoops and throws the first in time for the second out of the inning. Looks like Carson Boober has found his locations a little bit better here in these last 2 innings.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's, Musselman does not give you a chance to, come in, trying to find your pitches. If you don't find them, they'll hit your mistakes. And, he's certainly, like you said, now has found some location, found some ways to get these guys out and get softer contact. So Martinsburg, if they're going to capitalize on that, they're going to have to score offensively. But at this point, Baden-Hartman has just thrown, has kept Martinsburg from, threatening much.
Moberly, an RBI single, his first time up. Back into the second inning, a 3-run second inning after a 2-run first inning. It's 5-0 Appleman here in the fourth. Pitch hits the zone for strike 2. It's 0-2 count here on the second baseman. Next pitch from Buber on 0-2. Misses a little bit low for ball 1.
Yeah, just missed there. Good job by Moberly. Moberly's a guy who quietly gets things done for this team. Plays second base, makes the routine plays, doesn't make a lot of errors, gets behind his pitcher.
1-2 is outside for ball 2.
Turns the lineup over for this guy, for this team. There's a EPAC's full of, a couple of number 9 guys that can turn their lineup over for their prospective teams.
2-2 count, the next pitch to Moberly. Called strike 3 as Buber paints the corner for the second strikeout of the game and of the inning. We head to the 5th. 5-0 Musselman on top of Martinsburg. We're back in 60 seconds. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome you back to Musselman High School. 5-0 Appleman on top of the Bulldogs. It's 9-1-2 guys due up. It feels like now's about the time that Martinsburg at least needs to get one run across to threat here against this Appleman team.
Yeah, even though Musselman has gone, 2 innings without scoring a run, the momentum is still, in their favor big time. Martinsburg has to figure out a way to regain that momentum, and again, with Baden-Hartman on the mound, that's going to be a tough task. So, he's not giving up a lot of walks and free bases, and at this point, he's keeping the ball from getting hit hard against that defense that's susceptible to, possibly letting some guys on. So, right now, Baden's doing what he needs to do. When Baden's on the mound, like we talked about a minute ago, it takes him off of, shortstop, and it changes their defense a little bit. And not to say that McClintock can't do it, because he certainly can play any position on that field. And I think, speaking to these guys down there, that McClintock officially has played every position on the field this year for Musselman. He's pitched, caught, and played every he's been a position player in every spot on the field. So he's the real utility guy when it comes to utility guys.
Yeah, 1-1 count here on leadoff hitter this inning, Keegan Everhart. Looks like, was that Rubenthal warming up down there? Or
lefty, yeah.
Yes, it has to be Rubenthal. Mm-hmm. The 1-1 misses outside for ball 2 for Martinsburg. So
after those long innings, Buber could be pushing pitch count here soon.
You have to double check that here. 2-1 pitch from Baden-Hartman to Keegan Everhart, a ground ball toward McClintock at shortstop. It eats him up a little bit, and that will be able to reach Everhart with the error.
Well, Everhart reached on the air.
Yeah, I kind of worded that weird.
Yeah, McClintock gets the ball up in the gut there. It rolled up his glove, got into his midsection there. Then he kind of took it out of the glove. Then I think it rolled up his forearm there. So he can kind of a hot potato there for him as leadoff guy gets on just what the doctor ordered for Martinsburg. Hartman did get what he wanted to get. He got a rollover swing, and he just didn't get the out there. So see if they can do something with that leadoff free base.
So far, no harm done as Canby lifts that one towards second base, and Moberly makes the play for the first out.
Yeah, not good there.
For 3 day for Jordan Canby.
Canby has to find a better pitch to hit there, have better contact on an 0-0 count there. He just that was his opportunity there. But Boober's at 73 pitches, so it's not quite a pitch count thing yet. But
Baden Hartman, this will be his 71st pitch. It misses low. Boyles throws down. The runner takes off, and he's in there. Everhart at second base. Maybe with a little bit better scoop from Boyles, I think he could have got him.
It was close. Yeah, it was a dirt ball that Boyles kept in front of him, come up throwing, and threw a one hop down there to McClintock and made it really close.
It looks like he needs a minute. Might got some dirt in his face or something on the slide.
It could also be a thing here where they're deciding to pull, Boober, and because of getting to the pitch count, saving him for later in the week in the tournament. I'm not sure that's something that he's used to doing, or if he's comfortable doing. But that could be part of the reason why Rubenthal is warming up. But he doesn't seem to be warming up with any real, urgency at all. Yeah. So
1-1 count here on Oviedo with the runner Everhart on second base. 5-0. Appleman Bulldogs trying to get a run in. The next pitch to Oviedo misses outside. Great block by Boyles to keep that runner at second.
Yeah, great block, great read by Everhart. Everhart's one of those guys that wants to move up. He's aggressive, but he's safe. He kept it out. He took off when he seen the ball hit the dirt, read the block, and got back.
2-1 count. The next pitch from Baden Hartman to Oviedo. Hit hard into center field. That will get down for a base hit. Everhart will round third. The throw in from Kyle Lohr cut off by Hartman. The throw home. Not in time, and the Bulldogs are on the board at 5-1. Hey. Oviedo, an RBI single.
Yeah, you get that leadoff guy. These teams, it's really tough, to get them out in high school baseball. The leadoff guy can come around and that's what Martinsburg needed there to get him going, and Musselman just needs to settle down, and they still have a 4-run lead, and certainly are in command. But at the moment, Martinsburg is starting to did get a few guys, get someone around the bases and get that 0 off the board, which was a tough task for the first 4 innings, 5 innings there, 4 innings.
It's only the second hit Baden Hartman's allowed in his last 11 and a third innings of work, so I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I think he'll get. Yeah, he'll get. I think he'll tell you, regardless if you get talk to him in the post game or after the game, just talk to him. He's going to tell you that this wasn't, certainly he didn't have what he had at Moorfield today, but he certainly has good stuff, and that says a lot about a pitcher when they can battle through, without their best stuff, and it's really nice when your offense can, get 7, 8, 9, 10 hits behind you.
Yeah.
Against a very good pitcher in Boober.
But this game far from over now at 5-1 as this pitch misses outside for ball one. 1-1 the count here in the top of the 5th inning. Bulldogs trying to get something going here with a runner on first, 1 out in the inning, and a 5-1 deficit. The next pitch hit hard into left field. It's back-to-back hits. Carson Boober's got a 2-hit day. He's seeing the ball well, and it's runners on first and second for the Dogs with Mike Lupus coming to the plate, one of the most dangerous hitters in the EPAC.
Comes Logan Wilt, a run for the pitcher. It's time to maybe talk to, yep, here he comes. I was thinking the same thing. Might be a good time for Mackey to come out and talk to him, just let him know who's coming to the plate, where they stand, just a little confidence, just to ice the Bulldogs' offense a little bit. And a good call there by Musselman's coaching staff. But regardless, after this break, they're going to have to decide whether or not they want to try to throw to Lupus. And seeing someone go down to the bullpen again for Musselman gives them a chance to get it loose.
And right, with one swing of the bat, this could become just a 2-run game or even a 1-run game.
Yeah. Ball doesn't fly out of here like it does at K.O. Faulkner, so he's going to have to get a lot of it. But certainly Lupus has that power that can do it. And even at that point, he can get the ball to the fence and turn this into a 5-3 game with the speed on the bases. With Wilt and Everhart both can really move on the bases. So, best thing Martinsburg could hope for here is maybe get a dirt ball, pass ball, or something, get those guys up, and the single would be the easy way to cut this thing down real quickly. So, see how Baden reacts after those back-to-back couple hits there.
If you go back to the leadoff error, I mean, that if it was 2 outs and back-to-back singles with no runs coming across, you still feel okay about it. But with 1 out and Lupus coming to the plate after 1 run already coming across, you worry a little bit if you're Musselman. Pitch hits the zone there for strike 1.
You have to go out and check on him, see how he feels, make sure he's where his confidence in, what pitches he's confident in. Just talk to him a little bit and just reset the motor there a bit.
The 0-1 pitch from Hartman misses low and outside as, again, Boyles moving well behind the plate, blocks it.
Yeah. You see a lot of catchers kind of reach for that. I mean, he moved completely over into that batter's box to force that ball back to home plate. If you can push the ball back towards the bag you want to throw to, that'll stop the runner.
The 1-1 pitch from Hartman misses low for ball 2.
Again, he pushed the ball right out in front of him. Boyles is done a great job back there. But here's a 2-1 pitch that Lupus kind of has to set on here and see his pitch. If he likes it, he needs to unload.
The 2-1 to Lupus misses low and outside for ball 3.
And this could be an intentional walk, where they're saying.
Sifford due up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out.
Being very cautious.
Yeah, he's very cautious. Every pitch has been on the outer half. Nothing in, where Lupus likes to get his, pull his hands in and pull the ball to the left field, so everything's a bit away.
Next pitch to Lupus. High for ball 4. It's back-to-back walks for him, and the bases are loaded with Landon Sifford coming to the plate. Another good hitter.
Here comes Dad. That means that's the end of him. Yeah, I mean, you can't go twice.
So that will do it for Baden Hartman after it looked like he was cruising and was going to help secure this victory for Musselman. His day is over at 4 1/3 innings of work. And with the bases loaded, we're 1 swing away from a tied ball game with Landon Sifford coming to the plate. We'll get you the pitching change when we come back. We're back in 60 seconds. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
And the streak continues!
CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
5-1 our score. Musselman on top of Martinsburg. Baden Hartman's day is over. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. That run was not earned. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Overall, it was a good day for Baden, but that error kind of hurt him a little bit, I think, and also the walks hurt him a little bit to up that pitch count. He ends up with 82 pitches. And Landon Sifford will come to the plate here, bases loaded, and Musselman's going to go to Cohen Rutherford out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I think he did a great job with what he had today. He obviously wasn't the Baden Hartman we've seen a couple other times, but even him on his not his best day is a great pitcher. And Martinsburg failed to get it. You look across there and see those 4 zeros on that board, and they are all attributed to Baden Hartman. A couple of nice plays in the outfield, and on those line drives by Lohr and Bohr. But other than that, soft contact and strikeouts when he needed them, and just a great outing. And with Martinsburg Musselman with that pitching depth, it doesn't surprise me too much that they went to the bullpen early. And, we have to wonder with all those guys they have what they will, how long the leash will be on any of these relievers, regardless of who they are, whether it be Rutherford or who else might come in, Chauncey or all the Sites, all those guys that tend to come in, later in the innings for this team. So they still have plenty to pick from, and right now they're putting their trust here in I think the junior, Cohen Rutherford, and he's facing a really tough hitter in Landon Sifford, and a lot of speed on the bases at the moment.
Rutherford's first pitch to Sifford is popped up but fouled away. 19 2/3 for Cohen. 29 strikeouts for him on the year. So 3.559 ERA.
Didn't we get a runner for Lupus down there, it looks like? Yeah, it's not Lupus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to see who it is.
Pitch missing outside. 4 ball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cameraman to zoom in on him.
The 1-1 pitch. High and inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
And Sifford being a catcher, he knows the strike zone, so he's not going to, he'll allow you to walk him. He's not going to swing at bad pitches. A lot of his strikeouts are, controversial pitches that are away or, close that he's able to take because he knows the strike zone from catching it all day.
3-1 count on Landon Sifford with 1 out in the inning, and the base is loaded. The next pitch misses inside for ball 4, and that will walk in a run. It is now 5-2. Musselman still leading, but Martinsburg getting right back into the game.
Comes Alter in for the catcher. I'm not sure who entered the game for Lupus at that point. But regardless, maybe I can find it on Martinsburg's Game Changer. Might be easier.
Yeah, they'll probably have it. It's hard to see for us when we're looking into the lights. All right, so here's the pitch called strike.
23.
That'd be Steen.
Yeah, Steen. Okay, Jackson Steen out there. Yep. So, Rutherford got a strike there on the freshman Jameer Brown, a big spot.
The 0-1 just misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball and a strike. Rutherford had some issues getting the ball back, but luckily everybody stays put for Musselman.
Again, if this game tightens up, it'll start to favor Martinsburg a little bit in their style of play because they're able to generate some runs where Musselman, will have to continue to hit their way on, which, isn't always the easiest thing to do in baseball, even when you hit hard.
Bases loaded, and that pitch hits the zone for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brown on the day, a pair of groundouts.
Brown probably didn't see himself in the sectionals as bases loaded here in this spot as a freshman, but he certainly earned it.
The 1-2 pitch just misses low below the knees for ball 2. Our count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the inning. The bases are loaded for Martinsburg, who trails it 5-2. And Jameer Brown trying to come through here and make this a very different ball game. The next pitch from Rutherford popped up. Could be playable, but it's going to head out of play and to the Martinsburg side of the crowd. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded for the Dogs.
Banged off the benches there as looked like it got down there by Randy Brown in that bunch there. Nobody made the catch.
They're about 3 feet away from Cam Shatless. He's more of a football player.
The 2-2 pitch just missed inside for ball 3.
He didn't want to make the catch.
Good look there. I mean, that pitch was certainly a pitch that out of the hand looked like it was something awful for, but Martinsburg's very, very good at, seeing the ball.
Rutherford's 3-2 popped up again.
Playable.
This one is playable for Myers in foul territory. He makes the play for the second out of the inning. Now we'll bring Owen Rupenthal to the plate.
Big out there.
It was just warming in the Dogs' bullpen, and Rupenthal will now hit. He's 0 for 1 today, reaching on an error and having a strikeout.
It was a big out there. I mean, Jameer swings a very good bat. Jameer can hit the ball deep. He has home run power. We've seen it in his years coming up to the high school, playing on the big field. So that was a huge out for Rutherford.
Pitch here, called strike on the outside corner. Yeah, after back-to-back walks, you get into a 3-2 count. The last thing you want to do is walk in another run. The next pitch from Rutherford There's a call on strike two, again painting that outside corner. Again, the throwback having some issues. Martinsburg not going to risk it, but for whatever reason.
Well, luckily, it's the throw from the pitcher to the catcher that matters the most.
Yeah, unless it goes into the outfield. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike three on the outside corner. They get Rubenthal looking for the final out of the inning. Martinsburg, though, does score 2 runs, and they're back in this ball game at 5-2. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Appleman coming to the plate now with a much closer ball game. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway, 1/2 hour from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300. That's 304-728-7300.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Musselman on top of Martinsburg. As Tripp said, new pitcher on the mound for the Bulldogs. It will be Owen Rubenthal. Carson Buber's day is done, Tripp, and he really struggled early, but he got into it the last few innings and kept Martinsburg in this game. And now their offense picks them up a little bit here, making it a 5-2 score, and still potential for a comeback here from the Bulldogs, as this is intensity picking up in this one.
Yeah, he picked it up. I mean, it was a nice job there by Rutherford to come in there and throw strikes after giving up that first walk and then getting Jameer and Rubenthal. I mean, Rubenthal, takes 3 pitches down the gut, and the first 2 were on the outer half, but that last one was certainly one that he should have offered for. But you had to wonder, hopefully that doesn't mess with his mind out there on the mound, and he can have a good, clean inning. And he's going to have to really be on his A game as he's going to face this top of the lineup in Musselman, because these guys can get explosive real quick, at this part of the lineup. So, 70 couple pitches there for Buber. He will be able to throw later in the week. Should Martinsburg need him to, regardless of how they end up in this one, win or lose. So maybe that played into it, or maybe just ineffectiveness and not being able to, find the strike zone there a few times.
First pitch from Rubenthal hits the zone for strike 1. So for Buber, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He moves back to short, Oviedo to third. Brown out of the game for now. This is a swing and a miss for strike 2 to Kyle Lohr, who leads off this inning, the leadoff hitter in the lineup.
Totally different look from Buber to Rubenthal, so that's that's certainly something that could throw off these Musselman hitters.
The 0-2 pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Well, really, after those first few innings, Buber looked like himself in the middle innings there, the 3-4. So we'll see if Rubenthal can kind of continue that success, and being a lefty, that does give you a little bit different look. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and miss, strike 3, drop third. Sifford will throw down to first and get the out for out number 1, and that will bring Baden Hartman to the plate, now playing shortstop.
Yeah, great job there. I mean, that's not easy to get that young man out. Kyle Lohr is probably is the hardest out. Him and Braylon Connor, of course, with those averages, they generally hit themselves on. The on-base percentages are tremendous for, a 25, 30-game season that they play. So to go through that season and have very little, droughts, and then, to come in and get these guys out, Rubenthal is just a tremendous job there. But Musselman needs to answer, they would want to, if I'm Musselman, I want to get those 2 runs back. That's what I'm telling them. Let's get these runs back.
Pitch to Hartman is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, especially because Martinsburg seemed to pick up a little bit of momentum. They're in the bullpen now on both teams. The 1-1 pitch to Hartman, fouled away.
And Martinsburg basically has the part of the lineup that just was successful for him coming back to the plate. I believe, they're going to be 8-9-1 instead of 7-8-9 or 9-1-2 this time. but certainly an area in the lineup that's been productive for them, throughout the year and then tonight earlier.
Hartman hit by another pitch. This one, though, not in that hand. It looks like it hit him in the foot, potentially.
Yeah. Right-handed batter, left-handed curveball, and catches you on top of the foot.
Darren Boyles will come to the plate. Boyles so far, 2 RBI singles, has been one of our nominees for the player of the game here tonight, if Musselman's able to get the win. Pitch to Boyles, misses outside for ball 1.
And we don't want to talk about the speed. We talk about lower speed, but Hartman generally in front of him is, right behind him. They can run.
Boyles lifts this one up into the sky. It's playable for Grove out there in left, and he finds it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. First time they're able to retire Boyles here tonight as he flies out to left field.
Incredible sophomore bat.
Those third and fourth innings from Buber were so big for him to recover and not have to go to this bullpen even earlier because, again, you don't have Michael Lupus to throw out there. You probably wouldn't have seen him in this game in particular, but it does, with all these games this week, it could have thrown off your bullpen and pitch counts even more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had to go, and eat up some innings regardless of the score.
Pitch here from Rubenthal misses outside for ball 1. So Myers will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 of a single and a fly out here today.
You have to think at some point that Hartman will go. He didn't have a great lead over there.
2 down, and Myers rips this one down the first base line, but it tails foul into the bullpen for just a long strike 1.
It's going to be tough for Hartman to get a jump. You see, today Coach Hartman over there giving signals, but with a lefty, Rubenthal does a nice job of holding. He looks and looks and then looks away, and he has the ability to, to see the jump and throw over. At that point, Martin will have to make a couple throws to get him out. But regardless, he is keeping him to a shorter lead, not letting him get a big jump here, giving Sifford a chance should he take off with that speed.
The 1-1 to Myers. Low for a ball 2. 2-1 count here on the first baseman.
But ultimately, it's really not Musselman's game. They don't, they go on dirt balls, they hit themselves around, and they run, when the ball's hit and force guys to make plays.
The 2-1 is in there for strike 2. It's count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. A runner on first with 2 down. A 5-2 Musselman lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning between the Applemen and the Bulldogs. First round of sectionals. The breaking ball misses outside for ball 3.
Myers kind of gave up on him. You have to watch that because he didn't get on top of that one. But Rubenthal does have a curveball that'll break back, and Myers gave up on him a little bit early. So, should he have been able to, execute that pitch, he might have had a shot.
As there's a ball 4, Myers will take his base. Runners on first and second with 2 down in the inning, and now Musselman doing something similar to Martinsburg. When the bats have gone cold, though, they're able to at least extend the inning, see more pitches, and put some pressure on the defense at the very least here.
What you do, you put pressure on the defense here when you get runners on, and now you're just a base hit away from extending your lead, and you get one of them runs back.
Wyatt McClintock to the plate. Pitch misses high and inside. Again, for those of you that may just be tuning in or didn't hear it earlier, we will follow the winner of this game as we're going to do the winner's bracket here in Section 1 for our sectional coverage on TV 10 and Talk Radio WRNR. So whoever wins will go to Hedgesville tomorrow to broadcast that game.
I think the Jefferson-Martinsburg game is over at 10-3.
Jefferson-Washington. I think you might have said Martinsburg.
Yes, Jefferson-Washington 10-3. And
that means Washington will head back home to take on Hampshire tomorrow in an elimination game, and then the winner of that game will take on Jefferson with a 2 games to win 1 for the Cougars. So big game there and a big final score. 2-1 pitch misses outside for ball 3.
Big story, I think. Colin Reed going, throwing his guts out for 80-some pitches and kind of losing some steam there in the end. And 106, he went out of the game, but after 4 innings, he was in a 1-run ball game there, I believe, and just that top of the 5th as he got into that 80 pitch count, kind of cost him. But
meanwhile, we have back-to-back walks, 3 free bases given to the Applemen this inning, a hit by pitch, and then these 2 walks. And Trevor Bohr has a chance to get those 2 runs back at a 5-2 score here in the bottom of the 5th, with Musselman on top of Martinsburg. And Bohr so far on the day, 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. The first pitch to Trevor is a called strike on the outside corner.
And now you got Musselman. He's a base hit away from getting those 2 runs back and pulling that momentum back. And what did happen here is that Rubenthal came in and got a couple outs, and then 3 free bases.
Bohr sends it the opposite way towards short. Buber scoops, throws the first. Bohr hustling down the line is ruled out at first base.
Ooh.
For the final out of the inning on a very close play. We will head to the 6th. Our score, Musselman 5, Martinsburg 2. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Join us at the golf tournament, June 8th at 9 a.m. at Crest Creek. Support your dogs.
Five to 2, Musselman leading Martinsburg here at Musselman High School in sectional playoff action between the Bulldogs and the Applemen. As we begin this 6th inning, Martinsburg coming to the plate, down to their final 6 outs, but we're able to get 2 runs across in that 5th inning to make things close here at 5-2, a 3-run game. And with this team, not a bad spot to be in, the 8-9-1 guys, because both Grove and Everhart all season, even if it's reaching on an error because of their speed, find ways to get on base and turn it over to the top of the order. And then if they do get on, typically Canby, Oviedo, Buber, Lupus, one of those guys can come through with a big hit and get some runs in.
Yeah, I mean, Rutherford has to not let the bottom of the order run. If he does that, it's going to be a tough inning for him.
We saw that last half inning. That started the rally. The error getting Everhart on first allowed Martinsburg to almost hit around and score those 2 runs and get the bases loaded with 2 outs. First pitch fouled away by Grove. The next pitch from Rutherford is low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Because Martinsburg only got 2 hits on those 2 runs coming across. 1 error and then 2 walks. 1 walk driving in a run. As it's a 2-1 count here on Isaac Grove. Bulldogs have left 7 runners on base here tonight. 2-1 count, 5-2 our score. The next pitch to Grove from Rutherford is hit hard into left field, and a diving effort by McClintock, and he makes the play for out number 1.
We've seen some great plays out there in the outfield tonight, when the ball gets lifted, and Boers made a play out there. Lohr, tracked down a few plays. Now we see one out of McClintock, Murphy Clement on Martinsburg has also had a great diving play. So defense is on display here tonight.
This one popped the fouling out of play by Keegan Everhart. And that looked like a clear-cut hit from Grove, but robbed there by McClintock out there and left. As he's now playing left field, Hartman moving from the mound to shortstop. And you talked about being a true utility guy. I mean, in order to be that guy, you got to be able to play good defense, and there he makes a great play. Pitch misses outside there for a ball to Everhart. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You have to be an athlete. You have to be an athlete to be able to do that. I mean, you have to be, you have to now take care of your body. how to warm up, how to stretch, all these things.
This one popped up in the infield. Playable for both Stevens and Hartman, but Hartman calls him off and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Martinsburg finds itself down to their final 4 outs now, with Jordan Canby in the top of the order coming to the plate.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Rutherford needed to do, was get the bottom out. I mean, if the bottom guys get on, that always usually scores runs for the team at the plate.
Pitch misses outside for ball 1.
And that's a trick a lot, to high school baseball. A lot of times is you let the top do their damage. They're going to do it regardless of who's throwing for you. Get the middle guys.
This one hit right towards center field, and that is a base hit for Jordan Canby with 2 outs in the inning.
And there you see what could happen should a couple of those guys got on, or at least one of them. Now you're looking at the heart of the Martinsburg order. So great job by Rutherford to get those guys on. Get those guys out and keep that from happening.
First hit of the night for Jordan, 1 for 4 day at the plate. Oviedo to the plate. Oviedo will take that one low for a ball. If there was less than 2 outs, you probably would see Canby run, but with a good catcher behind the plate and Boyles, probably not worth the risk here as pitch misses high. Can't get it all back with.
I think Boyles if he has the green light, which he'd have to almost go in standing up. I mean, at this point you're down, 3 runs, and the risk isn't worth the reward by any means.
The 2-0 misses.
Right down to your last
for ball
4
3. So the pressure getting on the Appleman, though, with Canby's 2-out single. Oviedo is a dangerous bat at the plate, and the 3-0 misses inside for ball 4. So a walk allowed by Rutherford, and Buber, who's had a real nice game. 2 hits and a walk.
He's coming up. He comes to the plate with a purpose. He's a very stern young man when it comes to his passion. Doesn't show like other men. His passion shows in his willingness and in his grit. And he's a great hitter.
First pitch to him starts him with a strike, which was important there for Rutherford after a 4-pitch walk.
Martinsburg's into the heart of that line. If you turn it over now, you get a base hit here and get to Lupus. You can really, have some 2-out lightning here.
The 0-1 to Buber, missing outside into the other batter's box for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Lupus in that on-deck circle. 2 on for the Bulldogs. The next pitch from Rutherford popped up and out of play. It's a 1-2 count. Rutherford works his way ahead.
Weather's changing down there. Wonder for too late in the game for me to text Roxanne Canby, see if she'll bring me a coffee.
Your normal coffee wasn't delivered to you here at Musselman. The 1-2 misses low. They will advance, and Boyles will be forced to hold. So it's 2 runners in scoring position for Carson Buber on a 2-2 count with 2 down after the wild pitch.
Yeah, that's big right there. I mean, that's how high school teams score without a lot, without getting base hits. Is you get walks, you get pass balls, you get ground outs, things like that. That can help.
The 2-2 in the dirt, and Boyles with a huge block there.
So now the pressure's on the pitcher, to get the ball up into the hitting zone, keep it out of the dirt. Pressure's on the defense. We're a base hit away from this being a 1-run game after it looked like Musselman was really going to run away with it.
The 3-2 from Rutherford.
And it is.
Hit into right center field. War can't get to it. That will get down for extra bases. 2 runs are in to score, and Buber has a 2 RBI double. It's a 1-run ball game at 5-4, with Michael Lupus coming to the plate. A rally here from the Bulldogs in the top of the 6th with 2 outs.
2-out rally, and now that play at the plate with a tag out, would be 4-0 or 4-4 had Hartman not come down and ask about that play earlier in the game. That becomes a really big play, but we can talk about those plays and should just hold up. Regardless of the scores, you have to overcome. Whatever. So I probably shouldn't even brought that up, but just making the point that it was a play that Martinsburg needs to overcome there, and the replay doesn't show much difference. And so great baseball there, and a great piece of hitting by Buber. I mean, that was just huge. 2 outs, and the top of this lineup able to string together, a single, a walk, pass ball, and a wild pitch, and then a double here. And next thing you know, we're at a 5-4 baseball game.
Next pitch to Lupus. Called strike one, 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, I think it's a fair point to bring up because at the time we weren't certain how it would impact things. It looked like Musselman was going to cruise. They had 7 hits in the first 2 innings. They haven't got a hit since. Excuse me, actually, that's no longer accurate after the last inning. 2 hits since.
They haven't gotten a run since.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's where it matters.
Right.
Yeah, we have to wonder, how Lupus feels with that shoulder. He come in, prior to that getting hurt in the shoulder.
No, I was right, sorry.
Prior to hurting his shoulder there and being off, I mean, he was the hottest hitter in EPAC, or one of the top 3 hitters in EPAC running. And, hasn't been able to see a lot of live pitching, set out the live scrimmage they had, and just been taking some BP in the cage, and that's a whole different, game than coming out here. So he's got to get the ball in play here.
1-2 to Lupus. Chopper headed down the third base line. Going to be trouble, and it will allow Lupus to reach first. Great job hustling that one out. And now runners on first and second for the Bulldogs. First and third as Boober able to advance to third.
In the scorebook, it looks like he scorched it.
Sifford
it's
coming
a base
up.
hit.
Yeah.
In the box score, right? The box score doesn't tell you how hard you hit it. It just tells you if you got a hit or not. And
it kind of does, though, because if he hit it hard, it probably scores Carson Bieber.
True.
So it probably would have been an RBI single.
Yeah, he got that thing. It is just in the most perfect spot you could bunt it, and it was a swinging bunt that made it there. Now we've got first and third. Martinsburg with an opportunity to double steal a run. That does. Should they go that route?
Pitch from Rutherford, ripped into left field, but foul down the left field line. Landed Sifford just missed what would have been extra bases and a run scoring.
Martinsburg's really feeling it now. They're feeling like they got an opportunity, a chance. They're running somebody down to the bullpen real quick, but the adrenaline's got to be pumping now for young Coe and Rutherford as the underdog. Bulldogs have fought back into this thing and are starting to put the barrel on the baseball here this inning.
5-4 our score here in the 6th. The next pitch from Rutherford looked pretty good, but just missed for ball 1.
And again, I mean, Sifford's not the kind of guy who you just get, you can get guys swinging and they'll swing the bat. You start getting them swinging to get their adrenaline flowing, but he's very patient he doesn't get caught up in that at the plate.
The 1-1 just misses for ball 2.
A lot of guys would have been chomping at the bit to take that second swing after just missing that double down the line, but he's a patient hitter and looks for his pitch, and it's just a tremendous growth and maturity on his part.
The 2-1 to Sifford, called strike on the outside corner on a borderline pitch. Going to get 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. 5-4, Musselman leading Martinsburg. Runners on the corners for the Bulldogs with 2 outs in the inning.
He may steal here, but no, Lupus isn't. He's just taking a small lead.
Next pitch from Rutherford, breaking ball misses outside for ball 3.
He'll go now. 3-2, 2 outs.
Yep.
And Sifford got to protect the plate. He can't get too choosy. He can't go down looking. He's got to take a hack at it if it's anywhere close.
3-2, Lupus takes off. Sifford fouls it away. I think probably why we didn't see him run earlier. One, you don't want to, obviously get another out at second base, but also he injured that shoulder sliding. So I'm not sure how much running he can do in terms of sliding in, at least if it's a throw down.
Earlier they ran for him, so you can't run for him now or he's out of the game. And you don't want him to be out of the game in case you get the extra innings. So certainly it is affecting him some, running, or they wouldn't have run for him.
The 3-2, fouled away by Sifford, and could be playable, but it's going to head out of play.
Tough at bat.
It's a great at-bat from Landon Sifford. Full count, runners on the corners for the Bulldogs, down by 1 at 5-4 here in the top of the 6th inning after Martinsburg trailed 5-0 early in the ball game after the first 2 innings. But they just kept battling and have found their way right back into it.
Kind of the tale of 2 games.
The 3-2 pitch from Rutherford. Runners take off. Throws him for strike number 3. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Musselman hanging on to a 1-run lead. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 60. Bagent looking to throw. Tyson throws over the middle for Walker. He makes the catch, and there's the record. Tyson Bagent is the king of touchdowns in NCAA football.
On Saturday, May 13th from 11 to 1, Hagerstown Ford, the official dealership of Tyson Bagent, is having a party to celebrate him and his achievements from Shepherd to now the NFL. Come out to 714 Massey Boulevard in Hagerstown for autographs and a chance to win a truck. That's 1714 Massey Boulevard. Hagerstown Ford, the official dealership of Tyson Bagent.
To get the best opportunity to be seen and recruited, join the American Legion Post 14 Hornets baseball team. Managed by Trip Tobin, Post 14 will prepare you for the next level by playing the best possible schedule, along with an experienced coaching staff and alumni coming back to help guide you through the process.
Brings up Camion Gonzalez with runners on the corners. Runner from first going, and it's a fair ball down the third base line by Gonzalez. That's going to allow one to score.
The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier Legion baseball team in the area.
We welcome you back here to Musselman. Appleman holding on to that 5-4 lead, and as we head to the bottom of the sixth, Musselman would certainly like some insurance runs here with how Martinsburg's starting to hit the ball a little bit better, find ways to get on base, and putting the pressure on the Appleman, as it's been a completely different game since the game we saw in the first two innings when Musselman pulled away. Then we had the pitcher's duel kind of in the middle, and now we're seeing the Martinsburg offense.
Yeah, tale of two games. Yeah, the first two innings all Musselman, and then we kind of hit a stalemate there in the middle, and as each team just kind of traded out. So now we're seeing, Martinsburg's bats come alive, and Musselman giving some free bases, and costing Musselman almost costing the lead. Should this thing go down as a loss for Martinsburg, you're going to hear Coach Ballard talk about the 5 base runners they left on watching strike 3 as Rupenthal went down looking, and now Sifford goes down looking. Rupenthal's base was loaded, and Sifford with men on first and third and a 3-2 count with the runner moving, which is an opportunity for 2 RBIs there on something in the gap. But both teams have fought. We knew this section was going to be like this. I mean, Musselman did get out and running and tip my cap to Boober. They are very dangerous when they're up, 3, 4, 5, nothing. And here comes my coffee delivery.
There you go. Brought to you by Trips Flooring.
And she even gave me a hug, so watch out, Kevin. So our coffee is brought to us by Roxanne Candy.
There you go.
Usually it's Jason Myers, but he's too nervous about the game, so he keeps getting up and down from the seat, going out to the, he can't watch. He's just too nervous. He just can't watch the game. It's just close. But anyway, back to the game there. It's just a great baseball game, and another one-run game here in the section.
So leading off this inning is Dylan Stevens, 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Appleman. And looking at some things here, be interesting to see if Rutherford comes back out or if we see Trevor Bohr, who's has 3 saves on the year. Aiden Seitz has a save as well. Both those guys would be some good options. It looks like somebody's warming down there, but I can't tell. It looks like it could be Bohr, the lefty. Yeah, I think it is Bohr down there.
Yeah, Bohr's down there. Seitz is down there. There's another thrower down in the Martinsburg bullpen as well. So,
that Oviedo, I think.
We've got a baseball game. Could be Alter, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is Alter.
But not pulling either way, for either team. It's just great to watch, close competitive baseball and see these guys be, put under duress and see how they can handle it. And, it just toughens you up for life in general when you get games like this. And
Stevens swinging a miss, drop third strike, and they tag him for the first out of the inning.
And 10-run games are fun, or blowout games are kind of fun, for the team. But nobody learns a lot from that. But these tight games is where you learn a lot about yourself and about your team, and about your teammates. And win or lose, whoever comes out on top of this, both teams were, just played tremendous baseball and had each other's backs the whole way. And there's a lot of team building in these close games.
So this will be Rutherford hitting. Because Seitz is out.
Should be hitting in the right fielder spot. Seitz' spot,
left
right?
Fielder spot, yeah.
Yeah, left fielder, sorry.
Yep, so Rutherford hitting as Seitz checked out when he came in, and McClintock went to left. 2-0 count. And the pitch from Rupenthal chopper hit back toward the pitcher. Could be tough play with the lefty, and Rubenthal still makes it for the second out of the inning. Good play there.
Rubenthal's come in and done a really nice job, you know, himself. You know, a very different look. And this is a big out here with Moberly. You know, Moberly certainly, you know, has the ability, and he does his job of getting his, you know, hit or two each game. But to turn that thing over to Lohr and Hartman, who are capable of, you know, putting balls in gaps and running bases and doing a lot of things with 2 outs.
Moberly on the day, 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the second inning. And
the play by Buber earlier with the bases loaded when Trevor Bohr played as he come across. That was a huge play. A lot of big plays in this game. Then we look back across the game.
1-1, chopper hit towards short. Buber fields it, throws the first, and with the stretch by Brown, they're able to get the final out of the inning. So we head to the 7th inning. Musselman leads it 5-4. We'll see if we will have a bottom of the 7th. Potentially extra innings. Who knows what will happen here tonight, so you don't want to miss the conclusion of this one. Trevor Bohr is coming out to start the 7th. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here to the 7th inning, 5-4. Musselman leads Martinsburg, and the Applemen going to turn to essentially their closer this season. He's 3 for 3 in his save opportunities. Trevor Bohr, a lefty, had a great summer for the Hornets this past year trip, both pitching and hitting, and that's carried over to this senior season for Trevor.
Yeah, he pitched a lot of innings in the summer. You know, fixed a few things there with Coach Sam Walls, and he's been building on that. Got signed over at the Frederick Community College, and you know, he's just the thing that makes him a great pitcher. One is he doesn't walk a lot of guys, and he throws the contact. He doesn't try to strike a lot of guys out. He throws the ball over the plate. He mixes his pitches is what gets these guys, you know, and he comes in and you kind of chomp at the bit thinking that because his velo's not, you know, 80, 85, 87, 88, that you can just kind of tee off on him. And that's just not the case. He just keeps you off balance. But his biggest attribute, we can talk about everything as far as mechanics or pitch call or whatever. His biggest attribute is his grit and his ability to come in and not falter, you know, bases loaded. You know, I mean, you're not going to get everybody out, and you're not going to win every single, you know, inning. And you're going to give up some hits, you give up some runs, but he's been put in the game in some tough situations this spring, last summer, and he's a guy that will not, will not shy away from that. He wants the baseball, and that's his biggest attribute. Is right now he wants that baseball. He wants to be where he's at, and not many kids want that baseball at this moment, at this level, you know, with the game on the line.
Bohr's first pitch misses outside for a ball. The numbers for Trevor, a .404 earned run average in his 17 1/3 innings. 20 runners he's left on base this season. Just 1 earned run the entire year, 16 hits. And like I mentioned, 3 for 3 in these save opportunities. He is 0-1, though. He hasn't gotten a win yet this year, as he's been pitching out of the bullpen for the most part. Just 1 start, 13. This is his 14th appearance, 17 1/3 innings pitched on the year, 1-1 count.
Facing the 6, 7, 8, 9 batters at Martinsburg, you know,
who have struggled tonight.
And that's what made it real big last inning, even though Martinsburg was able to score. I mean, getting those two guys out, is, if you don't get them out, of course they score, but also it turns this lineup over quicker. And right now, should he get, two of these three guys out, he's not going to face the top if he gets all three of them. I mean, three of the four guys out, he's not facing the top.
Moore misses there for a ball, 2-1 count. Brown is 0 for 3. Rubenthal is 0 for 3, or 0 for 2. And Grove is 0 for 3 as well. This is a swing and a miss for strike 2. So far, this bottom of the order has not gotten hits. They have found a few base paths here. Rubenthal's got on an error. Everhart got on an error as well. They've made some contact, but haven't been able to see a lot of success. And really, I mean, that could be a difference in this ball game here, as it's a 3-2 count. But we'll see. You never know what can happen here in the 7th, and they've battled here tonight. And this is a good at-bat by Jameer Brown to lead off the inning. So 3-2 count for the freshman.
Yeah, great at-bat to lead it off here. Boer's, coming in here, and again, wants that baseball, wants to compete, so look for him to challenge him with one of his, two-seam fastballs, have a little run.
3-2, misses low for ball 4. You get the leadoff runner on.
And they're going to run for him with that injury, I believe. They're looking for a runner. They're going to get Logan Wilt to come in and run. So Logan Wilt's going to enter the game here for Jameer, and lefty on the mound with Trevor Boer, so stops the running game a little bit. Martinsburg probably going to bunt here, I would think. They have to tie the game up. They have to play for one run. They can't play for 2 runs. You're the visitor. You have to play for one run. You have to get the game tied up before you can even think about going ahead. So at this point, the lefty, Rubenthal's going to try to probably lay down a bunt, and Musselman, can't put him on base. Certainly, he has to throw strikes here. So, best thing for Boer to do is just throw the strike, and let him make the contact. Probably see a curveball here. It's hard to bunt curveballs. Probably see a curveball up a little bit. As Boer's been taught to to throw that curveball generally in this count, and hopefully get a miss or a foul or something. But Dylan Stevens is completely up in the box.
Here's the pitch. It's bunted, but foul and out of play.
Coach Bauer's not going to like the fact that he's kind of bunt for almost for a base hit style.
Right.
He wants him to square around and bunt.
Yeah, kind of like a slap bunt there down the line.
Dylan Stevens is closer to the batter at the moment than the pitcher is at third.
Don't see that too often in baseball. Sometimes you'll see that in softball or Little League maybe, but not in that slow.
He needs to get the ball down the first base line, and then you need to kind of look for third base if you're Wilt, because if Dylan doesn't get back.
The 0-1 misses high and inside from Boer. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's going to be all up to Hartman to move over if Wilt's moving.
And if he can get it down that line, it's a
tough
play
for
for either Boer, or really it has to be Boer's play unless Boyles could get to it. But 1-1, bunted down the line but foul, so now 2 strikes. That's big. Now he has to get it fair.
Yeah, he has to get it fair now as the ball has hit him.
Would you still bunt here on 1-2?
I don't know. Again, he just needs to get it down. He need to get squared around there and get it down. He didn't get the job done. So at this point, maybe he's telling him, get it down. Just bunt again. I mean, he has to have a productive out here. You have to move this runner one way or the other. With a productive out, you can't strike out.
Yeah.
So you have to get the ball in play. So either shorten up and just slap it in play, or just square around there and bunt.
1-2 from Boer, her runner on first. And Logan Wilt, and time called.
And Rupenthal's the guy who, bases loaded, took 3 strikes in 3 consecutive pitches. So maybe, Coach Bauer is thinking, we'll get the ball in play one way or the other.
The 1-2 misses high and inside for ball 2.
So maybe the bunt is off. We've seen this many times when a guy, doesn't get the job done and he gets it done with a base hit. Redeems himself. But Boer just needs to do what he does, not worry about the situation, and just, throw strikes, not give a free base up.
The 2-2 pitch from Boer. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on that curveball from Trevor Boer. And it's the first out of the inning with Isaac Grove coming to the plate. Not what you wanted there.
No, you
if
needed
you're Rupin Paul, that's his third strikeout of the day.
You needed a productive out there. You just at that situation when Boer give that leadoff walk, you needed a productive out there.
And that will bring Grove to the plate. He is 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a strikeout back in the second inning. A runner on first base. And Wilt running for Brown, who walked. The first pitch called strike 1 on the inside part of the plate.
Grove's got Stevens up on the grass. And, it was a great pitch by Boer last time. We talked about the unproductive out, but it was forced by a great pitch by Boer. So give credit where credit's due.
The 0-1 fouled away. No 2 count.
I'm used to seeing him do that, so it's kind of norm to me. But seeing him come in and get those, have those kind of do that to batters. Not allowing them to get the bunt down and throwing curveball and throwing the ball up to force those guys to. Foul pitches off on the bunt attempts, but that's just a great pitch sequence by Boer there. Just an unproductive bat for Rubenthal.
There's that curveball again, but it misses low for ball 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boer's going to be methodic here. He's not going to speed the game up. He's going to be on that mound. He works slow. He forces the batter, to kind of freeze. And
the 1-2 pitch from Boer lifted into center field, playable for Kyle Lohr, and he makes the play for the second out of the inning. Musselman with a win. We'll head to Hedgesville tomorrow night. We will be there as well for what should be another great game here in Section 1. If Martinsburg were to fall, it's a home game for the Bulldogs, but they'll play Spring Mills, who certainly battled Hedgesville last night, and it's an elimination game as well, so not really what you want if you are the Bulldogs you get the home game, but elimination game early in the tournament. We'll see how this plays out still. Trevor Boer starts with a strike. Grove flying out, the number 9 hitter, Keegan Everhart at the plate. He struck out, reached on error, and popped out so far. Boer takes a breath, looks over at the runner and delivers the next pitch. Runner takes off. A chopper. Going to be a fair ball down the third baseline, and Keegan Everhart's on with an infield single. Not over yet, especially at the top of the order coming up for Martinsburg and Jordan Canby.
Yeah, now you're a base hit away, You're a base hit away. You're a pass ball and a base hit away from going ahead of run. So, Boer has to be careful, getting the dirt balls, even though Taryn Boyles has been phenomenal back there, keeping those balls in front, not allowing Martinsburg to move up, which is something they like to do. They like to be aggressive on the base paths. But these are the kind of games that we live for. These are the kind of games we want to see. These, come down to the last out, the last pitch, the last at bat.
The pitch from Boer. Called strike of the knees, and again he starts Canby with that curveball.
Two guys that have seen each other a lot.
Yeah, playing together
through the
in
summer,
Legion.
through the, through other travel teams and through Legion and through, and seen each other. This will be the third time this year that they've seen each other as far as battling each other. But pitcher.
I'm not certain if Trevor pitched in that first game or not, but I know he didn't pitch in the loss that Musselman had. 1-1 count, but like you said, they've played against each other and played with each other.
They know their
since they're kids.
And right now, Boer is the biggest problem right now with the Boer is all the speed that's on the bases right now. So any ball put in play is going to be a tough out if it's on the ground.
The 1-1 by Canby popped up into center field. Moore chasing over and makes the catch for the final out of the ball game.
There they go.
The Applemen get the win. The fireworks launch off, and it's on to Hedgesville for Musselman. Martinsburg falls. They will play tomorrow night as well at home against Spring Mills. Great ball game. Applemen jump out to that early 5-0 lead in the second inning. Martinsburg battles back to make it 5-4, but Musselman does enough to hold on here tonight. Tripp, your thoughts quickly on this one before we head into the postgame show.
Just a tale of two games, the Musselman jumped out early. Martinsburg did a great job of shutting that down, and it's not something that's not easy to do against that lineup when they get their
their ears pinned back and they get aggressive at the plate and overly aggressive. But Martinsburg hung in there, showed their grit, and even though they're a young team that's kind of shorthanded a little bit, they fought like crazy, and we knew they would. And it's just the second one-run game here in this section is just unbelievable.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the post-game show. Our final score, Musselman 5, Martinsburg 4. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
To get the best opportunity to be seen and recruited, join the American Legion Post 14 Hornets baseball team. Managed by Trip Tobin, Post 14 will prepare you for the next level by playing the best possible schedule, along with an experienced coaching staff and alumni coming back to help guide you through the process. Don't believe me? Ask Washington Patriot and Fairmont State commit Cam Moore.
I've gotten a lot of looks with Post 14 more than any other team. It's probably been one of my favorite teams to play for.
The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the premier Legion baseball team in the area. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Looking for some nightlife? Then look no further. Laddie's Bar and Grill has a full bar and kitchen, pool table, and entertainment with great food at affordable prices. You can dine in or carry out by calling us at 304-263-5233. Laddie's is open Monday through Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. We serve breakfast all day long, and our lunch and dinner specials are posted every day on our Facebook page. So stop on in to Laddie's Bar and Grill, located at 107 Lutz Avenue in Martinsburg.
20 seconds.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch!
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
Brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's fast, fresh, friendly. Get into our game summary here as Musselman gets the 5-4 win over Martinsburg. And this game started all Appleman. 2-0 in the bottom of the first. 5-0 after 2 innings. Appleman had 7 hits in the first 2 innings. They didn't get a hit the rest of the game, but it was good enough to get the win, despite Martinsburg rallying in the 5th and the 6th to make it close. 5-4 our final score. Our game summary brought to you by the Farmer and Mechanics Insurance Companies. When it comes to your home, auto, farm, or business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to fmiwv.com. And you look back on it, as we just heard, by the way, that Kyle Lohr broke the record for the most runs scored in a season at Musselman with 46 runs scored this year, and living up to the nickname.
Yeah, Kyle get me on and I'll score Lohr, and that attributes one to his on-base percentage, his ability to get on, whether it be a hit, walk, air, reach on air, however he gets on. But it attributes a lot also to the guys behind him and their ability to, hit the baseball and drive him in, the RBIs, the situations that he creates, and they take advantage of that. But, Musselman is a team that when they're top, can really do some damage, and you've seen Moberly, turn that lineup over. And but as we move through this section, they're going to have to play a complete game. But I think what you saw tonight with those guys is that pitching staff that they have, the depth they have. Hartman, though he threw a whale of a baseball game up to the point where he gave away and hadn't given up a run, he certainly didn't have his best stuff. He had give up some walks there, and he got hit on the arm there. That may have played a little bit into it, but regardless, if he got hit or if he had an off night or however you want to talk, they have guys that are right behind him: Rutherford, Bohr, and just so many others. But like I said, Bohr is the kind of guy who just wants that baseball in that situation. And he's not afraid, to go out there and pitch with base runners on. Not afraid to come out there with a one-run
lead or he can eat up innings. He's just a guy that you want on your team, and he knows his role, and he plays it well. He wants the baseball more, of course, on the mound, but he knows what he needs to do for wins for this team, and he does it.
So it looks like Dylan has our player of the game, Taryn Boyles, who had a 2-for-2 day with 2 RBIs, along with Coach Hartman. Let's go ahead and send it down to Dylan. Take it away, Dylan.
Down here with our player of the game, Taryn Boyles. 2 RBI singles for you tonight.
Can hear it.
A 1-run win for you guys. What does it mean? What do you think was working for you at the plate tonight?
Yeah, I was just trying to relax in the box. We worked on it all weekend, working on my swing, because that Washington game I went 0 for 4. So I got in the cage and just put the work in.
All right, what's it mean for you guys to get this win tonight, first game of sectionals, and be able to move on to the winner's bracket?
Oh, it's big. Now we have a lot of confidence rolling into tomorrow, and hopefully we can just keep it rolling.
All right, and you guys got Hedgesville tomorrow, so you'll be going there for that game, and you'll be behind the plate, like you were tonight. Made some good plays back here to keep it from advancing some extra base runners. How'd you feel about your performance behind the plate tonight, and how are you looking forward to Hedgesville tomorrow?
It felt good. Our pitchers are good. I just kept it in front of me, help them out, and I do all that I can to just help the pitchers out.
All right, Taryn Boyles, congrats, player of the game. All right, now we'll bring in Coach Hartman. Coach, big win for you guys tonight. 1-run win. You guys got up 5-0. They were able to come back and make it a very interesting game for you guys. Started out with Baden on the mound, got you through some innings, but then had to go to the bullpen, and you guys came up clutch. How'd you feel about your guys' win tonight?
It's nice to jump out that 5-0 lead. Anytime you get a lead like that, and it carries momentum through the game. Carson pitched a nice game for him. He settled in as the game went on. But shoot, anytime you can come out with a sectional win in a 1-run game, sorry about that, in a 1-run game, it's a good night.
Yeah, and you guys are able to throw some pitchers out there. Once you get past your starter and Baden, go to the bullpen. You guys are able to secure that lead and keep it. What's it mean to be so deep in your bullpen, be able to throw out these arms in these sectional playoffs where you're going to need a lot of guys?
It's nice to have trust in those kids. I mean, there's so many. This is the deepest pitching staff I've had since I've been the head coach. But it is nice to put anybody out there, have confidence in what they're doing. Baden got hit with a pitch a little bit, and his arm was hurting a little bit. You can tell he didn't have his normal stuff that he has. Cohen came in a tough situation there and ended up getting us out of that. That was a big inning for him. Went back out, and we were able to get the job done.
And you guys were able to get at that 5-0 lead. What are you telling your team when the other team starts to get some runs up on the board, start to close that lead in? What do you tell your guys to make sure, hey, we still got this lead, let's keep it that way?
It's a 7-inning game. You cannot relax at any moment, especially in sectionals. Clutch, man. Those kids are clutch. They went out and got the job done, made some nice plays in the field. Got the job done. I'm very happy with them.
All right, you guys are looking forward to Hedgesville tomorrow. Obviously, you can enjoy this win tonight, but it's a quick turnaround. How are you guys going to, you think, attack Hedgesville tomorrow when you're looking forward to that one?
Anytime you play them, once again, another section, it's going to be a tough game. Hopefully that they forget how to hit a little bit. Last time, I think they hit about 18 hits against us. So hopefully we're going Dylan tomorrow. Hopefully Dylan come out and control the bats. And I'm looking forward to it and have another nice game tomorrow.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. Apologize for the audio being a little bit quiet if it was for the listeners like it was for us up here. But I was able to hear a good bit of that there, and good stuff from Coach Hartman as well as our player of the game, Taryn Boyles. Our player of the game brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. We'll wrap things up with our game stats here tonight.
Real quickly, just so you couldn't hear at home, Hartman said that their guys were clutch, and it took 7 innings to win a baseball game.
Yeah.
I think he's going to tell his team that. Taryn Boyle said, he kind of went 0 for 4 to Washington game, got in the cage, worked some things out. But I think the biggest thing to take out of that, if you couldn't hear at home, was that, they have the depth in the pitching staff and the faith in those guys, and the fact that, he told those guys, hey, it's a 7-inning baseball game, and we're in sectionals, so he'll be harping on that tomorrow. Should he get if they get a lead on Hedgesville tomorrow, they will, maybe, the theme will be to not, settle on it, But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, should be interesting tomorrow. I would presume Tanner Matthew probably goes for the Eagles, and that would mean
or Ruest.
Yeah, potentially Ruest, but he did pitch the other day, I believe. So we'll see. But Into the game stats now, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer, located on Route 11 South Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. Lohr goes 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, and Boyles 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, a run scored for him as well. Myers 1 for 2, Flintock 0 for 2, but he had an RBI. Bohr 1 for 3, Stevens 1 for 3, and Moberly 1 for 3 with the RBI. The totals there for Musselman: 7 hits, 5 runs, 23 at-bats, 4 runs driven in by batters, and 4 strikeouts. Baden Hartman goes 4 1/3, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Rutherford 1 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and Trevor Bohr gets the save with the final inning of work, allowing just 1 hit and 1 strikeout in that final inning. Jordan Camby for Martinsburg goes 1 for 4 at the plate with a run scored. Oviedo 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Buber 3 for 3 day, 2 RBIs. Jackson Steen 1 for, I don't believe that's accurate there, but that should be Lupus 1 for 1. Steen never hit for Lupus. He did run for Lupus, though. 2 walks for Lupus as well. Sifford 0 for 2. An RBI and 2 walks. Brown 0 for 2. Rubenthal 0 for 4. Grove 0 for 4. Everhart 1 for 4 with a run scored. Buber 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. Rubenthal 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no earned, and 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for him. As once again, your final score: Musselman gets the win 5-4 over Martinsburg. Again, we will follow the winners bracket here in Section 1, so we are headed to Hedgesville tomorrow night. Trip should be a great game, as those two teams, again, they split the regular season, and it's, again, a game that who knows who's going to win it, right? I mean, you could really...
I mean, we watched Jason Myers and Ruiz come out there and throw, and I think Myers give up, 3 or 4 or 5 runs in that first inning and then settled down, and then Ruiz give up some runs. Next thing you know, it was 5-4 and 7-6, and I'm just throwing that out there, but it was a hitting,
it was a weird game.
Pitchers were hit it, beat up on by the offenses. So, right now, those offenses are kind of clicking. Musselman kind of set on their lead tonight, and Martinsburg did a good job of getting back in. Martinsburg Spring Mills game tomorrow, going to be a great game. Gerard and I'm sure will go for Spring Mills, probably Oviedo for Martinsburg, considering Lupus is out, so that's going to give, a little bit of Oviedo can certainly throw. Doesn't have the pitching stats that Lupus has this year. That's who would have went, of course, but Oviedo is capable of that. But Martinsburg cannot strike out with base runners on. They have to have productive outs. They got to get the bunch down when they need to. And it's just not typical of a Martinsburg baseball team, and they bit them in the butt tonight, and I'm sure they'll talk about that. Musselman's going to talk about it's a 7-inning baseball game. You can't score 2 or 3 runs or get 5 or 6 hits and set on it. And believe it or not, Musselman can do that with that pitching staff.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You don't want it to end this way.
Not the ideal way.
You don't want to turn a 5-0 lead in, but Hartman won't tell his guys that, but they have the staff that can do that, and they can shut rallies down. But Hedgesville, number 1 seed. Tomorrow's time for them to prove it, and they're hitting on all cylinders at the end of the season, and it's going to be a great 2 games tomorrow. Wish we could do them both, and of course you got the Washington-Hampshire elimination game, and Jefferson over there cruising on that side. So we got a great week of baseball ahead of us, and in a regional as well.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Again, that game, first pitch set for 7, 6:40. We're on the air, but your final score again tonight: 5-4. Musselman gets the win over Martinsburg. Take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, but that does it for us here. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hancock Chevrolet. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hancock Chevrolet, it is that easy. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hancock Chevrolet will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time in a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Cumberland to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hancock Chevrolet absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HancockChevy.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want, and your new ride will be delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Welcome into the Cody's Auto Body post-game scoreboard show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, where you get the work done right the first time. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 for those just tuned in. Musselman gets the 5-4 win over Martinsburg to advance in the winners bracket. They will head to Hedgesville tomorrow to take on the Eagles. Martinsburg stays alive in the double elimination. They'll host Spring Mills tomorrow night in an elimination game. Winner moves on to face the loser of Hedgesville Musselman, and the loser of Martinsburg Spring Mills will head home. In Section 2 today, it was Jefferson getting a 10-3 win over the Washington Patriots. Jefferson, 10 runs on 13 hits, no errors. Washington, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. That means now Washington will go and play Hampshire again tomorrow in an elimination game. Jefferson gets another day of rest, and they have an opportunity the next time around to win the section, depending on who wins for Washington and Hampshire. That'll be who plays against Jefferson. So those are your EPAC scores. Let's now look at some MLB scores from tonight. A few games already going final today. The New York Mets picked up a 2-1 victory on the road against the Cincinnati Reds. The Baltimore Orioles win this series. They get a 2-1 win against Tampa Bay today. The Astros on the road beat the Angels 5-4. The Phillies beat the Blue Jays in 10 innings, 2-1. The Nationals get a huge win to win the series against the Giants. Final score in that one, 11-6. The Rangers beat Seattle 4-3. Miami beat Arizona 5-4. The Dodgers beat Milwaukee 8-1. The Tigers beat Cleveland 5-0. The Rockies beat the Pirates 4-3. The Yankees beat the A's 11-3. And games currently in action in the bottom of the 7th, it's the Cubs leading the Cardinals 9-3. In the middle of the 8th, it's the Padres and Twins tied at 2 apiece. In the middle of the 7th, it's Kansas City leading the White Sox 8-1. And in the top of the 8th, it's the Boston Red Sox now leading the Atlanta Braves 3-2. Over to the NBA playoffs now. 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's the Knicks currently trailing the series against Miami 3-1. However, here in Game 5, they currently lead the Miami Heat 92-85. So if the Knicks win, it's a Game 6 in Miami. If Miami can come back to win, they advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then at 10 o'clock tonight on TNT, it's the Lakers trying to win the series against the Golden State Warriors as LA leads the series 3-1. Lastly, before we wrap things up now, some NHL playoff scores for you. Toronto Maple Leafs trying to avoid being swept. Minute 43 to go in the third period. Toronto leads the Florida Panthers 2-1. Florida up 3-0 in that series, trying to sweep the Maple Leafs. And then at 10 o'clock tonight, it's the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. Vegas leads that series 2-1. Again, your final score tonight, it was Musselman 5, Martinsburg 4. Musselman will take on the 1-seeded Hedgesville Eagles in Section 1 tomorrow, and the 3-seed Martinsburg Bulldogs will host the 4-seed Spring Mills Cardinals in an elimination game. We will have the Hedgesville Musselman game for you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pregame show at 6:40. First pitch at 7 p.m. right here on Talk Radio, WRNR TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off. This has been West Virginia High School Baseball. Have a great rest of your night.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, The Skinner Law Firm, Laddie's, Trips Flooring, Jambo Construction and Fencing, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Smallwood and Small Insurance, CMA Honda of Winchester, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, Rock's Local Markets, CMA Toyota Chevrolet of Martinsburg, Orsini's Home Store, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and by Hagerstown Ford.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talkradiowrnr.com. All rights reserved.